Oh, dude, I'm at like a 9.5. Voice probably closer to like a 7. Still feeling the after effects a bit, but I'm good to go. Good to be back.
After effects of what? Like, are you a big like screaming the song dancer at the wedding?
Yeah, I was singing, I was dancing. Humble brag, I was a groomsman, so like getting after pretty good all day.
Is that a humble brag?
For real, like why
cool. No one really cares.
Say, yeah,
cool.
for sure.
No speech for you though, right?
No, the only time I had a microphone in my hand was to introduce the mother of the bride because she wanted me to.
Get out of here. How did that unfold?
It was very brief. I just said, biologically, the reason we're all here. Here's Wendy.
Nailed it.
I think she was underwhelmed.
She choose you? I mean, like, I get you got a good radio voice, but like, how did it come up that, hey, Alex Strofe should introduce?
It happened very moment. I don't know.
Wow.
I really don't know. I don't remember.
Way to step up, though.
Hey, thanks, Brad. Appreciate you, bro.
The Packers are done playing preseason game. Let's get a round of applause for that. Yeah. Big victory. Bad ending.
Big one.
Anders Carlson. We're not starting there. We will get to Anders. But goodness gracious, I mean, it is bad how much must-watch TV it is in the worst way possible to see what's going down with the kickers. But Brad, I want to toss this to you because you've been probably the most vocal about wanting to see game reps over joint practice and just practice reps and making that your whole preseason. Whether that be you're an old head, right? You know, you had 4 weeks of preseason games and all this training camp and you just had your shoes around on your back, kicked and punted whenever you wanted. But that being said, you saw something that raised the eyebrows.
Yeah, I did. And maybe I am an old head. Maybe it comes down to that. I mean, clearly I wasn't the one doing the hard work out there with my other teammates. But listen, the Packers got the vet treatment. This young Packer team got the vet treatment from Matt LaFleur. Of the offense playing one series, all of 3 plays, and the defense playing just one series, 2, against the Jameis Winston-led Browns. And I get that Matt LaFleur wants to expose them to game-like situations and 1-versus-1s and joint practices. But I just look at this and say, Matt LaFleur is treating this team like they're a bunch of vets, and they're still young. They still need work together. And I don't think we can leave the preseason experience for the Green Bay Packers and feel like it was complete. It feels a little bit incomplete to me, because of the very limited game reps and that it was kind of hit or miss during joint practices. So to me, I am under a little bit of fear that the Packers are going to start slow because Matt LaFleur is giving them the vet treatment. I think they should have played more. And I looked up some other quarterbacks. Guys, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs starting offense played in 2 games for a total of 3 drives. And those were long, sustained drives. Patrick Mahomes probably got, I'm guessing here, probably 25 plays in. Think about that. To Jordan Love's 3. And Patrick Mahomes is the most established, best player in the NFL. And the Chiefs, who won 2 straight Super Bowls, are still making an effort to get preseason action in. I get that it's a team-wide decision that not every team is. For instance, the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts got 0 snaps. So you choose based on your situation. But I look at it and say, gosh, if Patrick Mahomes... Gosh darn it. If Patrick Mahomes is getting 2 games, 3 drives, and all the starters, why aren't the Green Bay Packers getting more? I'm a little bit concerned they're going to start slow next Friday night in Brazil.
I just find it interesting that you think they're going to start a little slow Friday night, but you just mentioned Jalen Hurts didn't play a single snap.
He didn't.
He didn't play a single snap.
Good spin zone, Kyle.
So do you think Jalen Hurts might be a little slow, might be a little off?
He might be, but they have more veterans. They have more veterans on that team.
Listen, I agree, Brad. I would have liked them to play. We talked about this extensively. I would have liked them to play in the preseason a little bit more, but they did. And you know what? I'm good with it. You know why? Because Matt LaFleur saw what he needed to see on Thursday. Thursday was the measuring stick day. Thursday was, let me see how this young team responds from getting beat up a week before, and they responded exactly how he expected them to respond, and they responded in a good way for it to be a learning lesson for them to know that when we get into the season, and it's going to be ebbs and flows, ups and downs, good and bad for the Green Bay Packers this year, but how your team responds after the bad is what he was looking for. Because at the end of the day, we know the talent that this team has specifically on offense, and it wasn't about getting game film. It was about the fact that they had an opportunity to basically create this culture, have this attitude, have some grit about them. That's what he was looking for. He wasn't looking for how well, they got in a preseason game, can they execute? No, he was looking for how they responded with the grit that you need in order to be a champion. And so that's why I say, you know what? I'm okay with the Green Bay Packers and Matt LaFleur not playing them in the preseason game because they showed exactly what they needed to. They went in there and kicked the butts of the Ravens, not only in the joint practice, but then followed it up and did it in the game as well.
800-990-3776. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin as we are discussing the Green Bay Packers not playing their starters in the preseason finale. And Brad, look, I think you bring up a really good point about the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. And anytime you have a dynasty or a dynasty in the making, right? What does every team want to do? They want to be that dynasty. They want to be like that dynasty. But for me, I still am with Kyle here. I've said from the beginning.
What a way to start a Monday.
You and I being on the same team.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a good week. 3-day week for you.
Here's because you know why? We're talking at 2:07 p.m. on Monday. And guess what we're not talking about? No added injuries to the injury report. And look, there's value to being on the field. There's value to getting game reps. But if Matt LaFleur, the coach that's been to four of the last 5 seasons, been to the playoffs and led this team that has, I'd probably say 80% of the guys that were part of last year's team is probably on this year's team, they've been through a season together. He knows what to expect of them. And if in Matt LaFleur's mind, in his expectations of his team, if they met what he was looking for in the preseason joint practice finale of when we saw the starters, if that was good enough for Matt, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, you know what, Matt LaFleur, he's an idiot. You know, he should have played the starters. They only had 3 against the Browns. Dontavian Wicks had a long play. I'm just not, because you know why? They are in a good spot in terms of health heading into next Friday's start of the season. And ultimately, it's just hard for me to sit here and be like, if they played a sustained 7-8 drive play on Saturday, whoo-wee, Eagles better watch out. I just have a hard time sitting here and translating preseason snaps to, all right, this is now what's going to be what happens in Friday. Play great. They're going to play great on Friday against the Eagles.
But the historic Packer teams under Matt LaFleur, there's a direct correlation.
Have made the playoffs for the last 5 years.
They have, but the times that the Packers did not play anybody in the preseason, and look, I don't think you should necessarily play Aaron Rodgers in the preseason and maybe Devontae Adams, but when they didn't play in the preseason, what happened in those years? You're talking about playing the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, the Packers getting boat raced. I mean, absolutely embarrassed week 1. The one year that they actually looked really good was last year against the Bears, and we saw Jordan Love and the first team offense, the to-be first team offense, get into a really good rhythm, look good, look really comfortable in those games. I just think, I agree with what you're saying. You're totally right, Ben. 1, to come out healthy, huge plus. Love to see that, and not every team can say that. And you're right, Kyle. It's important to see how they responded.
Did you hear that? Ben, you're right. Kyle, you're right. You better say something good here.
Real recognize real.
Yeah, I'm appreciating what you guys are bringing to the table. And you're right, Kyle. He had to see what this Packer team was going to do when they were facing adversity. No doubt about it. I would just like to see that final test, like the response to adversity doesn't feel complete to me because they just did it in practice. I want to see them take that momentum, take that rhythm into a game.
It was last week, Kyle, that I asked Brad, how many times during the season did any of your head coaches reference the preseason as a reason why success or failure was on the field for the NFL season?
I think for week 1 it matters. Week 10, you're not saying, "Oh, hey guys, remember the preseason adversity we like dealt with." But for week 1, I do think it has a direct correlation.
Brad, I think these joint practices that you did in your Hear Brad Out are very important for the Green Bay Packers. And when it comes to this last preseason game, the Packers had no need to throw guys out there. Ben made a great point about that. And then, again, Ben made a great point about injuries, and you made a great point about Jalen Hurts and many other players on the Eagles not playing. And what I love about this Green Bay Packers football team, it just, based off what they did last year, and I know they practiced last year or they had the preseason game and they went in and they beat up on the Bears, I feel like this team is going to be hungry because they're going against an opponent where they feel like they need to measure themselves against something. Whereas when they played the New Orleans Saints, they're like, all right, we're one of the top dogs here. We don't need to measure ourselves. You play against the Vikings, okay, you know what? We're one of the top dogs here. We don't need to measure ourselves. This team still has a chip on their shoulder, and they have an opportunity to go up against the Eagles team that they could meet again in the NAC Championship, and they understand that. So the motivation is already going to be there for the Green Bay Packers to be locked, loaded, and focused and ready to go when it comes to week 1. So
What's going on with Alex Strofe back there? You're like cheesing and smiling. Like, do you still think you're at a wedding?
No, it's Everybody's telling everybody they're making great points. Why are we being so complimentary of one another?
Well, because it's
what
just
happened
true.
while I was gone?
No,
you were gone. You were gone. We all just got along.
Be mean to each other. To say that was a crap take. It was bad.
I mean, Brad.
I'll call it out if it is.
Well, Brad's take
you,
when
Brad.
it comes to them
That's
needing
too nice to call people
I
out.
see it.
Okay, I'll just ask you guys straight up. Does this Packer team, this young Packer team, probably the youngest team in the NFL again, do they deserve the vet treatment in preseason games?
No, they didn't deserve the vet treatment.
So
but
why are they getting
it is what it is. And the thing is, Brad, is I was upset a Monday ago. Last Monday, I was more upset because of the performance that we saw on Friday in the joint practice and then the performance that we saw in the game. I was frustrated with this team, and I needed to see more. But you know what changed in a week?
You saw more?
I saw the Green Bay Packers perform very well.
You were up at 1265 at Ray Nitschke Field, and you watched practice.
Okay, reports that the Packers performed well, and that's exactly what I needed, and that led to Matt LaFleur making the decision that his guys were not going to play, and that's exactly what you needed to see. You didn't need to see Jordan Love lead the team out on offense in the preseason. You needed to see him lead that offense out against the Baltimore Ravens, and do exactly what he did.
Yeah, you know what, Strofe, you're right. 800-990-3776. Brad, you're an idiot.
What?
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Just because the Chiefs do it doesn't make it the end-all, be-all.
I think
doesn't mean that it was a smart move by Andy Reid to put his guys at risk when he has a veteran in Patrick Mahomes and an old Travis Kelce and all those guys. I'll just say Andy Reid's just getting too old. The game's passing him by. Bad take by you, Brad.
Yeah, it's showing. It's showing.
I'm glad Strofe said to be mean to everybody.
No, but I mean, all
guys better
honesty,
watch out. I'm coming in after all of you.
in all honesty,
Guns
though,
a-blazing.
I do think the Green Bay Packers are going to be ready because one thing about sports, as you both know, is all about confidence and feeling good about yourself. And the Packers were able to go in and take care of business and feel good about themselves. And then on Saturday, they were able to go play really well and again feel good about themselves. So now they don't have this nasty taste in their mouth from the way they performed against the Broncos. They're going into the season riding a little bit higher, but understanding you have to make sure that you're giving full effort or what happened against the Broncos can happen again. So that's why I feel like this was a perfect ending to the preseason.
800-990-3776. Mel in Lemuria?
Lamira? Oh, goodness.
What up, Mel?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Lamira is correct. I don't think LaFleur is treating them as though they're veterans. He's treating them as though they're going to be day one starters. And I'd rather be discussing the fact that, did they get enough playing time? Or Jordan Love blew his knee out in preseason game number 2 trying to get some more reps. I don't put a whole lot of stock into the preseason, just like you had said. I'm not that far removed from watching Jordy Nelson blow out his knee in a preseason game against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I mean, not powerful that he hurt his knee.
We are so scarred from that. We are so scarred from that.
Mel hit it.
Yeah.
Mel hit it. I don't. Brad, your question about giving the vet treatment. They're the starters in the NFL. They've been through an entire season. You do have more vets than we've realized, right? Jordan Love has been in the NFL for 5 years. Do we want to see more? Yeah, but you also have to protect your asset that you want for the long term.
Especially when you got trash behind him.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I mean, that's true, too. But I will say, though, you have to then take the other side of that coin. You have to then say, okay, I'm willing to risk a slow start to the season.
Yeah.
And losing to a team that you might face in the NFC
there are
Championship.
hiccups in week one. Maybe that every team. Every team.
Maybe week one determines a home playoff game. So is that worth it? Is it worth, hey, I'm going to get maybe a couple extra reps, couple extra drives for our offense so we feel really good to try to be our best week one? Well, we're going to pull our foot off the pedal and we're going to chill.
I got to cover the barcode because this is a real bet. We got Packers to win the division right here as a show. So, Brad, I hope you're wrong. And Kyle, I hope we're both right. That doesn't matter. And week one, they get it done against the Philadelphia Eagles. 800-990-3776. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Obscure kickoff times. Brad's a fan. I'm a fan. I don't know what Kyle thinks. I don't know what Strofe thinks. And I want to know what you think. Coming up next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
We've called him Whitey Tighties. We've called him the Hall Monitor. He's Jesse Nelson. Like, he's just, I'm Jesse Nelson. Kyle, you're Jesse Nelson.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Wildy and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light.
I think I'm going to have to bring Romeo Dobbs into the Tausch stand category and start promoting and pushing him more.
Wildy and Tausch.
I feel like he is just so
criminally.
Like, he's an afterthought for too many Packer fans, and I think he's going to have a bust-out year.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Don't put your life on hold to earn a degree. Lakeland University has a long history of making students' dreams come true. Since 1862, build a schedule that meets your needs with options for 7 and 12-week courses, evening classes, and the ability to join classes remotely. Lakeland University is Wisconsin's leader in evening and online education. They have a main campus in Sheboygan County and 6 centers throughout the whole state. Lakeland University. Affordable, quality, flexible. Find out your next steps at info.lakeland.edu.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA Oak Creek help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can get 15% off their IKEA purchases. Visit IKEA Oak Creek or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
Looking for a better used car interest rate? At Ewald, we make it easy to save thousands during the used car rate reduction event. Get rates as low as 4.9% on Ewald Automotive Group's best used cars. 4.9% on over 600 vehicles at 10 locations. Increase your purchase power with a better used car from the name Milwaukee has trusted for 60 years. Don't wait. Get a better rate. Available to very well qualified customers. Up to $20,000 financed for up to 48 months. See dealer for details. Offer ends August 31st.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
IndyCar returns to the Milwaukee Mile at Wisconsin State Fair Park this Labor Day weekend, August 30th through September 1st. The Hy-Vee Milwaukee Mile 250s weekend features NTT IndyCar Series races on both Saturday and Sunday. Don't miss the fun in the free fan zone all weekend long, including live entertainment at the Bank 59 Amphitheater with headliners including Ian Munsick and Quiet Riot. Get your tickets now at wistatefair.com and experience Hy-Vee Milwaukee Mile 250s weekend, August 30th through September 1st.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back.
Hanging out with you, KBN Nation at 800-990-3776. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman here with you, gearing up for football season. It's real. It's almost here. I guess it's already here. College football happened, but I'm an NFL guy.
It's kind of like an appetizer, you know?
Yeah.
To the NFL. Well, not for my Wisconsin Badgers, but this last weekend especially. It's just but a taste.
Week 0 is dumb branding. We can all agree, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. I understand the week 0.
I will never understand it. 0 is not technically a number. This is week 1.
What do you mean it's not technically a number?
Well, you can't quantify it, right? So if it's week 0, that means it never happened. That means it's non-existent.
Well, I think 0 is a number, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's technically a number.
Okay, so why would you say
But it's not.
something
It's not quantifiable. It means nothing.
0's not quantifiable.
Well, it's before week 1.
I think
call it week -1.
It's ground 0.
But then how would you pass? You can't. The intervals would be unequal.
A child, when they're
from
born, is 0.
-1 to 1 is 2. And then you go to 1 to 2, 3, 4.
No, you're right. Theoretically,
there you go, Brad.
You are correct. But I would rather it be called -1 because at least then you can quantify it. It means it's actually the one before something actually happens. To be 0, it means nothing.
So you just don't like that something.
I don't know who the hell could potentially be calling right now.
The absence of value. Stroke doesn't like that. It's just the absence of value.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
All right, so the Badgers play on a Friday and the Packers play on the Friday. Are we good with this? Do we like this? Are we fans of this? Are you fans of this?
I like it. As a player, I hated it. I mean, I hated playing in obscure days and times. But as a fan, you know what? I was kind of against it at first. I was like, darn it, I want my teams to play in the normal times in the marquee slots. But to change it up every once in a while, a couple times a season at least, I like it. I like it. It feels like you're borrowing football, right? Because you're still going to get all day Saturday of normal college football, but you get to borrow that excitement on Friday night for the Wisconsin Badgers and Friday night for the Green Bay Packers. And it frees up that day if you want to step away and do some things, or you get to watch the games that you would have otherwise missed because you're going to watch the Badgers and the Packers first, of course. So I like it. I feel like I'm getting extra football on top of it.
It makes me get to my team a little bit earlier. So week 1, it's like, oh, okay, cool. I don't have to wait until Sunday to watch the Green Bay Packers, or I don't have to wait until Saturday to watch the Wisconsin Badgers. But once you get past week 1 where I'm now into that mode of consistency of Badgers on Saturday, so I'm going to make sure I get my day going and I can watch the Badgers and Packers on Sunday. I really don't like messing up my flow of things. Friday nights typically are, hey, I'm getting off of work. Let's go have a good time. Let's party. But not like being legit. I was making plans for this Friday. I said, holiday weekend, probably hop on the boat. I was inviting people on the boat. And then I looked at my schedule. I said, wait a minute. The Badgers play Friday. I can't miss the Badgers playing Friday, go kick it out there on the river. So that messes up my flow of things.
He's got a boat.
The boat guy.
None of you guys want to come on.
I think Brad nailed it. 800-990-3776 because on Friday when the Packers play, I can scout. I become a scout for the NFL. I mean, in my own brain, I don't get paid for it.
Explain this scouting thing.
Okay. Well, part of it is obviously there's a lot of people who play fantasy football. I love tracking all that. But at the same time, I set up 3 TVs. I'm a dork, so I make sure I have Sunday tickets. So one TV, I can pick whatever game I want to watch. TV number 2 has the local Fox game. TV number 3 is the local CBS game. I have access to every single snap of NFL football on Sundays at all time. And if the Packers play Friday, I am watching all of those games on Sunday. And for the Badgers on Friday, yes, 8 o'clock. I'm sure my fiance's family will be asleep, and I'll be watching the game by myself at the lake house this Friday. And then I don't know how much time I'll have to myself Saturday and Sunday because I'm with her family. But if I was home, I'd be watching all the rest of college football.
How do you determine which TV has the volume on of the three TV setup?
Well, if the Packers are playing, Packers are volume no matter what. But also, you have all 3 remotes, and you put the volume exactly where you want it, and then you mute and just...
Seems like a lot of work.
So you got 3 remotes.
Bro,
in
it's
your
the
hands.
command
Mute,
center.
Mute, on, off, mute.
It's a command center. Yes, I feel like I have like all these screens.
Yeah,
and
you're
like
not
keyboard.
enjoying watching. You're really focused and
Can I come visit?
You're working.
Dude, you would love the command center.
I don't like that you call it that.
Well, then you're not invited. Scott in Watertown, welcome into Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Hey, guys. I've been thinking about this for a long time. So over the last 30 years, the University of Wisconsin has established itself as one of the top running back universities in the country, right? And then it has also established itself as one of the top offensive line universities. My problem with the current team is I think that this air raid offense takes both of those things and completely trashes it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, watching last year, watching them try to run out of that shotgun made me sick. You know what I mean? I mean, they were on the goal line.
Change is hard.
Right.
So here's the thing, and I want to toss this to Brad because he's been doing a lot of research, but what I will say is you're not alone in those feelings because I feel like all of the times that I watch the Badgers, I immediately texted Brad Nortman. I was like, oh, I don't like this is different. The 3-5-2 or whatever the defensive scheme was or the way it looked, the way it felt. It was year one of something different than we're all used to for the last 30 years, right? The way that we build offensive lines, the way that we got talent at running back, it's just different. The thing that does scare me, though, is we had the conversation about the offensive line, this, that. Like, you look at this team and you're like, where's the strength? Where's the core strength? Where are we going to be like, you know what? That's the position group we love. Because, like, Scott, I do the same thing. I used to go to Badger games all the time and watch every single Badger game, and I didn't care if they crossed the 40. If they crossed the 40 into the Badger side of the football field, I'd be like, it's all right. We're going to get a sack off the edge. One of our linebackers off the edge is going to make a play, and they're going to settle for a field goal. I have no faith or have any idea what to believe I should be holding my hat on.
It's a great point. It's one of my concerns about this team. It's almost like the Badgers had a natural resource. Like a country has like a natural resource. And it's like, you know what? We're just going to we have oil. We're just going to keep on pumping oil, and that's going to be our bread and butter. So we know no matter what, we're going to be able to have a lifeline there. Drill. That was what the Badgers had with O-linemen and running backs. It was like, you know what? We don't know exactly if we'll ever be Bama, but we know we're going to sustain ourselves with this natural resource that they cultivated. My concern is their new system, both air raid on offense and on defense, which is kind of just more skill-based, a lot less pressure and things like that. It's not conducive to the recruiting that we're used to. It's not conducive to the advantage of attracting offensive linemen and running backs. We used to get top offensive linemen and top running backs, no problems. This new system doesn't emphasize that. So what this new program is betting that we can go out and recruit all the people we need for this thing. I don't know if they can yet. That has yet to be determined because the offensive line, it's less forward. Now it's more back, right? Speed over power. And even running backs, they're looking more for like speed running backs as opposed to the speed power combination. So
see,
it's very
right now,
different.
I've loved the KBN Nation callers today because they're getting like these questions and thoughts are based on the fact that like real football is here, and now they're like, am I going to be watching something I'm going to enjoy, or am I going to be like Kyle Wallace, my team is losing, and turn off the TV and throw the remote?
Yeah, it's going to be very, very skeptical, but we'll see. I think whereas with the Wisconsin Badgers, I feel like they're going to be a lot better this year, right? So for the caller who just called in, you should be optimistic about what you're going to see with this football team. Because remember, it's year two. And as Ben said, change happens, and you have to be able to be patient when change happens. And I think in year two, you're going to be able to see some of the things that you expected from that air raid offense last year. It was a little ridiculous of us to think that air raid was going to come in here and be the dairy raid, and it's going to be, tear it up. We got guys like Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen is a big boy. He ain't one cut and go. He's trying to run people over unless he's running out of bounds because he's trying to protect his body. But it was, some issues with the Wisconsin Badgers offense last year. The defense didn't have the pieces. And so you should be confident that this is going to be a better product on the field. Will the results be different? The Big Ten Conference is different, so the results may
tough schedule this year.
It may be 7 or 8 wins, but it's going to look more pretty this year, prettier 7 to 8 wins than it is this year than what it was last year.
Even saying that out loud from an expectation standpoint, it's going to be a pretty 7 to 8 wins. That was the floor. That was my floor, and I know things have changed.
Your floor didn't have Oregon. Your floor didn't have USC.
I know. I'm adding that
Washington.
into calculations in my brain, but just because you add it into your brain doesn't mean your emotions are ready to feel it on the field.
Yeah, when we went 7-5 my freshman year, it was the worst record we ever had. It was panic button in the building, panic button. And now we're saying 7-5 is probably a more likely scenario than any other. But I think you're right, Kyle. You got to give this program a little bit more time. The question is, they are doing well in recruiting. Can they get those guys to fill their system and have a show on the field?
You're gonna see it right away this year. I promise you this. Not right away at the start of the year, but halfway through, you're going to see it.
Phil in Cedarburg, recruiting versus developing. You're up on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Yeah, it seems like these guys are recruiting probably as well. I mean, like you're saying, it's probably better than anybody has at Wisconsin. But Wisconsin was good for so long because we developed guys. We developed those linemen. We developed the running back. We had a system. We took guys that were walk-ons and made them All-Americans. I mean, that's just I don't know. I was just wondering as I was listening to you guys, does this era of college football sort of allow for that? You know, give you the time to develop guys, or is everyone just going to be too impatient and jumping ship to somewhere else?
Another good question from Phil in Cedarburg, and it's a question that not just Wisconsin, it's what every program in America is wondering, is how do I maximize the guys that I have on my team while looking at the transfer portal, looking at incoming freshmen, recruiting my own guys not to leave in the transfer portal. It's a tough question. That's why those coaches get paid a lot, and I don't envy the 24/7 mindset that they have to have, because if you sleep at the wrong day when someone wants to leave and you don't answer the call, they could be gone.
That's exactly right. I mean, the transfer portal was what came to mind for me, because when I was there, I mean, J.J. Watt, even Russell Wilson wasn't a big recruit, Chris Borland, those guys were all 3 stars and less. They were not highly touted, but they developed them. They went through the hard gauntlet that is to become a non-player at Wisconsin to being a superstar. You can't do that nowadays. People can just get up and leave whenever they want, even if they have success.
Yeah,
they might get up and leave and go to a bigger program with more money.
As they should. You know what? You better take advantage of that money while it's out there.
It's true. It's hard. It's harder today to do this.
A lot of questions, not a lot of confidence. The Badgers' days of big seasons will be rare at best. Once every 15 years if we're lucky.
Stop it. I wouldn't be able to handle that.
People, this is one thing, is doom and gloom, right? I understand that I am emotional. So when the Packers have a loss, I may be on the downside of it, but then when they have a win, I'm on the upside. But I'm going to tell you this about the Wisconsin Badgers. They ain't going to be once every 15 years. The Badgers are going to be okay. Luke Fickell took Cincinnati, a team that wasn't that great. He took over and got them to a college football playoff.
Before 12 teams.
Before 12 teams. The guy knows how to coach. He knows how to develop, and we are lucky to have them. So let's just calm down. It's not doom and gloom, and let's enjoy us beating the heck out of the Broncos on Friday. Western Michigan Broncos.
We had Ashton Rotman do a horrible Becoming Relevant.
It was bad, huh?
It was horrible. It's the worst Becoming Relevant we had. Already relevant is what we've labeled it for Chris Larson, because he's worked here for a long, long time. He's already relevant. But Mr. Irrelevant was on YouTube. His name is Alex Strofe. 12:30s Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. His time to shine on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman is next. Don't go anywhere. Becoming Relevant with Alex Strofe is always good.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
I think it's clear.
Yeah, and if Doc replicates what Booty did last year, or all, I'm saying
Come on, guys. His name is Coach Bud.
If he replicates
Coach Booty,
what Coach Bud
on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
Everybody knows if it's summer season, it's festival season. And Potawatomi has the winningest one, WinFest. You could make it an awesome August with a share of $500,000. Play with your rewards card for entries. Hourly drawings every Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. $25,000 in cash and prizes each drawing. It's the $500,000 WinFest. Get in on the fun. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. More info at pacebig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. I've spent a while telling you about Mentality because it works. Not just for me, though. Take it from fellow Mentality user Jason. He's got a new lease on life thanks to Mentality.
The process was easy. It really, truly was. And the individuals that work at Mentality, very helpful, very respectful. It was an easy out. You go in a week after, they give you the results right away. And once you find that you're able to do it, just that thought, the energy already picked up a little bit. Most of it could have been mentally wise, but knowing that, hey, I get to start this, it was incredible.
Learn more today at LowTUSA.com.
Are you looking for a reliable ride? I've got you covered. It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. I use AccuTrans Group for my private transportation needs during the college football season. AccuTrans is a veteran-owned business dedicated to providing unmatched corporate, personal, and event-related transportation that you will use again and again. From corporate travel and weddings to group events, AccuTrans Group caters to every occasion. Booking is easy, safe, and dependable. Visit AccuTransGroup.com to get a quote or to book a reservation today for reliable and safe transportation.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now, Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that will join the team starting in September. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at kesslersdiamonds.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Weird time to play this song. Because people are literally going back to school.
That's why I played it, man.
Nailed it.
There's not a lot of songs that talk about school being back. I thought about Welcome Back, Cotter, which I played last segment.
School of Rock.
Going back to school is only fun at first.
Go on.
Because, you've been gone for the whole summer, so now you get to see who's in your classes, if you're in high school or elementary school, whatever it is, what it's going to be like. You got the new first day of school outfit. And in college, it's like, all right, we back to campus, turn up, let's party, let's have a good time. And then when you get to October, November, you're like, okay.
I'm in the grind.
I'm ready for this semester to be over.
Yeah.
And then you get to the fresh meat on campus.
My school was so fresh meat.
Yeah, when you were in college, the fresh meat on campus.
What's the fresh meat?
You know what the fresh men and women joining. Yeah, the fresh men and women joining campus. You're like, woo, who is this new one?
Kyle is referring to good-looking women.
Yeah, I just wanted him to say it out loud.
Men or women, whoever your preference is.
800-990-3776. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. It's time to hear from our guy, Mr. Strofer.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant. It's time to become relevant. Stroph's time to shine on KBN starts now.
Good to be back, fellas. Thursday, when the joint practice was going on up in Green Bay, I was stopping over near Lambeau Field. I was meeting some people for lunch up in Green Bay.
Cool.
Oh, it's about to get cooler.
Uh-oh.
I was
Who walked in?
walking through the parking lot. I see a taller gentleman in his late 60s, red hair, walking through the Lambeau Field parking lot.
Oh, I know who this was.
I go, hey, Mark.
No!
He said, hey.
He goes, hey, how you doing?
That's it?
I said, I'm good. How are you? He goes, I'm good. And then he kept walking. Mark Murphy, president and CEO of the Packers, walked right by me.
You should have told him you work for 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. He would have been
100.5 ESPN Madison.
Yeah, he would have been so delighted. He said, oh, Alex.
You could have been.
He goes, oh, you're the one that calls me a doofus all the time. Yeah, you got that right, Mark.
Mark that Packers Pro Shop. That's what he said.
Well, good news is next year when they release the special uniform, Mark Murphy will no longer be employed by the Packers. Right, Kyle? When they can send me another package?
He will not be when they don't send you a package.
Oh, they'll be sending me another one.
So, Was there an opportunity for you to be more conversational?
I don't know, but I didn't want to be either. As you know, I'm not the biggest fan
I
of Mark
would
Murphy.
have loved to get into a full convo with him.
It wouldn't have ended well.
What do you mean wouldn't have ended well? What are you mad at Mark for?
I think he's a doofus. I think he speaks when he shouldn't speak.
He gives you...
He's a content factory.
Exactly. You work in media. You should love him going to girls' basketball games and telling you things like Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be returning, or getting on elevators and talking about, did it look like
I
had
had somewhere to be. I was walking one direction. He was walking the other. I just gave him a, hey, Mark.
You could have reached it. You could have, pocket picked them. There might have been, Kyle shareholder money in there.
It's true.
Why even acknowledge him if you didn't want to try to strike up a conversation?
I just want to strike that from the record. I just told you to rob an older gentleman.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
Strike that from the record. It's stricken.
But yeah, why even mention it then? You didn't want to have a conversation with him, so why even say hello? You just wanted him to know that you knew who he was?
Well, it was it's one of those awkward things where we made eye contact and we're walking one way, he's walking the other.
He knows that you saw who he was.
Yeah. So I just kind of quickly, I didn't stop. I didn't, I just kept walking, and we had our backs to each other at one point when I said, hey, good, how are you? He's 10 feet the other way.
You should say, how's Steve going to be this year?
He heard it at the shareholder meeting.
He did.
Yeah.
You make Mark out to be a kind of a dud.
Well, not a dud. CeeDee Lamb signs a massive record-breaking contract extension this afternoon with the Dallas Cowboys. I want to throw this stat at you, though. CeeDee Lamb will be signing a $38 million signing bonus. The Packers' top 7 receivers make less than $9 million.
Oh, wow. That's a fun stat.
How's that for a place to be when you're the Green Bay Packers? And there's a lot of excitement in that room.
It's a good place to be, but there needs to be results that follow. I think, again, I am excited, but they're, no one, even to this day right now, can still tell you who's going to lead the team in receiving yards.
I don't care, because you know what I saw? Last time I saw CeeDee Lamb on a football field, what was he doing?
He was whining
what's going on?
Dak, we got to talk, bro. It's
What's
the first
happening?
quarter. We're down 7-0. We're panicking right now. And then you just threw it to Jair Alexander, and now we're down a lot.
Exactly. That's my whole point, is that having a number one wide receiver is important. It is. But I think that is the most overpaid position that you can pay. $38 million, because he's making 38. Isn't he making 34 a year?
Something like that, yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot where you can get a whole group of guys. Now, every team can't do this, but the Green Bay Packers show you can find a group of guys that can actually get you further than a number one guy can.
Look,
$100 million guaranteed.
Oh my God,
that's a lot.
That's a lot. And he got to miss training camp. Perfect world. I get to sit out.
Could you imagine if Kyle? What's the definition of a cowboy backer, like a Packer backer? Whatever that is. If Kyle was
Girl.
If Kyle was doing Dallas radio and was a Cowboys fan, he snapped on Jordan Love for sitting out of practice for 4 days. Could you imagine what he would have said about CeeDee Lamb?
Most selfish individual to ever live on planet Earth.
I mean, what CD did was it's not helpful for the team, but luckily he plays in a position now, wide receiver, where he'll be okay. Quarterback and receiver obviously are two different things, two different leadership roles, two different commands of the offense. He just goes out there and runs routes where one commands the offense.
Did you just explain what a quarterback and wide receiver do to the offense?
I mean, no, I wouldn't have called them as selfish as Jordan Love was for doing that. Again, Jordan Love's only selfish in that instance, not as a person.
Who says bunting is dead? Florida wins the Little League World Series in extra innings against Chinese Taipei.
Yes.
With a bunt.
Well, the pitcher threw it to nobody. Did you not see how it happened?
No.
On the bunt, the pitcher fielded it. First base came up to field it as well. Pitcher just fires it to first. There was a guy on second, and he scored on the error from the pitcher who threw it to Casper.
Oh, you don't got to throw the 13-year-old under the bus like that, Ben.
Dude, what do you think China's going to do to him?
Well, it's Taiwan.
Taipei.
It's Taiwan. I acknowledge Taiwan.
I'm confused why you're doing that.
Chinese Taipei is Taiwan.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, the whole political thing out there. But China's not going to do anything to him because he's in Taiwan.
What's Taiwan going to do to him?
Nothing. Not at all.
I don't know. Ben made it sound bad.
It was a joke.
He's making a joke about Chinese and their dictatorship.
Thank you.
I don't know what it is. It may not be a dictatorship.
Next question.
But can you not take shots at little children, though?
You really threw that kid under the bus.
Guys,
he did.
He was on TV. He bleeped up.
Okay, he's 13.
He ruined the Little League World Series for Chinese Taipei.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. No,
oh, this is what's wrong.
Participation
little
trophies.
Johnny, come here. It's not your fault that you panicked in the Little League World Series championship game and threw it to nobody at first base. It's not your fault.
Now, wait a minute. If it was China,
it's second base's fault.
If it was
second
China,
base should have covered first, and it's not what if this little kid would be getting ripped by me. I turned all my attention to the second baseman.
Oh, wow.
Idiot.
Wow, he just called
he panicked.
A preteen is an idiot now, huh?
Last one for you guys. Jarrett Stidham, the Broncos' backup quarterback, saying, "Hey, I am a starting caliber quarterback after losing the starting job to Bo Nix. Who would you rather have start for your team, Sean Clifford, Michael Pratt, or Jarrett Stidham?"
Oh, give me Michael Pratt. Give me Michael Pratt. I feel like he'll be more
I was going to say, give me Michael Pratt. He might throw the ball 110 miles per hour on a slant, but it's going to be exciting.
Exactly. I want the excitement. I like a little.
If I'm going to lose, I want to lose crazy.
Exactly.
Lose in a fun way, for sure.
Yeah, like he's going to throw 60-yard bombs to Christian Watson. It's going to be fun to watch. He may throw to the other team, but he's going to try.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it for becoming relevant?
Bless me. Thank me.
Why did we do a Quentin Williams there? We didn't hear you sneeze.
I know. I turned my mic off. I sneezed.
That was not the best becoming relevant off of a 4-day break. I'm just going to say that.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
It was just like headlines.
Hit the headlines.
You were headlines, huh? Those were the headlines? Chinese
Today's
Taipei.
International Dog Day. Would you like to talk to Brucey?
No, both the dogs are annoying.
Can I tell you
one puked. Yeah, if you got a story,
So
Kyle's going to tell it on the other side. But first, you're going to talk about underdog fantasy.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll talk about the other one. May not be as long, but underdog fantasy is definitely the dog that you love and you got to have. And what I love about underdog fantasy is the fact that you
other dogs not so much.
No, I love dogs and more. I love underdog fantasy just like you can as well. With underdog fantasy, it makes your watching experience that much better. Ben talked about it in his man cave. He has 3 different TVs in the command room and everything like that. You can do the exact same thing, except for you can be playing underdog fantasy. And here's how it works. You basically select multiple players from different teams. You select higher or lower on those players' stats. And if your picks hit, you can win big money. I'm telling y'all this right now. Watching sports last year was elevated when I was watching while playing the underdog fantasy sports app. So now it's the perfect time to hop on board. And I'm telling you this right now. It's so simple to play. Visit underdogfantasy.com and sign up using promo code KBN. That's promo code KBN. Or go to Underdog Fantasy in your app store and use promo code KBN. That is promo code KBN. And Underdog will give you a first pick'em entry plus a deposit offer and also a highly discounted pick to use as well. So remember, promo code KBN and join me this football season and win big. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern to play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
We all know Kyle hates our office dog.
Stop it. Don't put that.
We'll find out what his dog story is next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Ben's pretty good at impersonations.
Hey, he's
Quotes.
pretty good.
I
either crush him or suck at him.
He's pretty good at faking it.
Yeah, being a faker.
Yeah, that's
exactly what it is.
Whoa. That's what acting is.
Why can't we come together?
Yeah,
you're
very creative in faking it. Good job.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Wildy and Tausch.
Did you get nervous as a player, first of all, before matchups with Bruce Irvin or whatever it might have been?
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
He's such a jerk, isn't he? He just can't help himself. He's got perfect kids. They eat all of their vegetables and everything else. And nothing, but Jason loves to throw pot shots whenever he can. Have you noticed that about him?
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN.
Sunday. It's racing season at the legendary Great Lakes Dragaway, and our schedule of events is ready. We've still got our yearly holiday weekend races like Labor Day weekend, plus Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, and Night of Fire. You can also book corporate and private events. Take advantage of our season-long passes and even schedule a time to take your car down the legendary quarter mile. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for pricing and info. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
Protect your new and existing surfaces in and around your home and businesses with one simple call to Showtime Floors. Hey, this is Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee. Showtime Floors hooked me up with a sealer on my garage floor, and I absolutely love it. Showtime Floors products are antimicrobial and UV resistant, and you can find them at the baggage claim in Milwaukee's airport, plus a 15-year warranty. Schedule a free demo today at ShowtimeFloors.com and get 10% off your purchase by mentioning ESPN.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
A 30-7 preseason Week 3 victory over the Ravens effectively ends training camp for the Packers as they get ready for Week 1 in Brazil. As for the week with the Ravens, Jair Alexander says it was a good test.
It gave everybody a little bit more confidence. We know the Ravens are a smash-mouth team, so we already knew that coming in that they were going to maybe try to bully us. But I don't think guys allowed that today, especially on our side of the ball.
And so the countdown is on until kickoff in Brazil on Friday, September 6th.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
First time building your own nest? Call Tri-City. We'll do the rest. Our hometown lenders will put you at ease. Your home building process will be a breeze. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
Cousins Subs features only the finest Wisconsin-made cheeses and dairy on their menu in support of the dairy farmers of Wisconsin. And now, the time has come for even more cheese as Cousins is happy to introduce their new Cheddar Supreme Cheese Sauce. Order this cheesy treat on their new cheese fries or add cheese sauce to your favorite sub. More cheese? Yes, please. Order today at any location, online or via Cousins mobile app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Kyle just triggered me in the break. Oh my gosh. 800-990-3776. Alex Strofe running the show. Kyle, you hate dogs.
I don't hate dogs. I don't love dogs either. But I do not hate dogs. And this weekend, I've told y'all the story about Louie. I believe the dog's name is Louie.
Who ran away?
Who ran away.
And you witnessed and didn't tell your neighbors that Louie was running away?
I don't really like her. I don't really like her energy. Don't like her energy.
The neighbor or the dog?
The neighbor.
Both.
The dog is wonderful. A little husky that just wants to run around. That's all he wants to do is run around.
He just wants to get away from the owner.
Yeah, exactly. She's probably crazy. And so I'm sitting there, this Saturday, very productive Saturday. Most productive Saturday I've ever had all in my life. And so I'm outside and I got a concrete guy coming over. We're chatting it up. We're talking. We're in the front of the house, chatting up and talking. And all of a sudden I hear, "Damn it, Linda, you let the dog out." And I said, uh-oh. And boop, there goes the dog running out again. And
Louie?
Louie. They went go chasing that dog.
Linda. You know the meme? The Linda? Oh man, look up the Linda meme, and you're gonna be able to play it on the air. Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda. I'm telling you right now, the dog came jetting out, and they got lucky this time. And I watched. I wasn't gonna do anything. I sat there and watched, and
there it goes.
I said to the concrete guy, I said, "Up." He's in the middle of talking. I said, "Up, there go that dog again." He looks like, huh? Yeah, the husky like to run. The husky started running out, and they got lucky this time. You know what? They got lucky. There was another dog out there, and the dog ran straight to the other dog, and the man came running out. The wife is coming out, tripping over stuff to go grab the dog. But they got lucky this time. And I thought to myself, I said, yeah, I was just laughing. I had no intentions on helping. I was just going to watch the show. I was literally going to watch the show. I was not going to help whatsoever. I was going to
What about
enjoy.
the concrete guy?
He went into his own story about why he had to give up his husky because they like to run.
Really?
He said they don't like being in the house. He said, I had to give up my dog because I didn't have a big enough backyard. And when they're in the house, they go crazy and they like to just run.
Does Louie's family yard seem, like it's good enough for Louie? Listen, Linda. This husky's not made for this home.
The husky is not made for that little old backyard they got and the little old front yard they got. That dog came running out again. I just think to myself, every 4 to 5 weeks, I was ready to get the phone out too. I was going to say, it's happening again.
Oh, you're going to film it?
I was going to do it. And I told the guy, that happens probably about every month or every 5 weeks. They chasing that dog. And I said, last time I ran through my yard, I didn't do anything. Absolutely nothing. I just looked. And this time I was just going to look.
This time you're going to film?
I filmed a little bit last time, and I was going to film again this time. Absolutely. They got to get that dog under control. But you talking about dogs and loving dogs, and I realized, that dog across the street is crazy.
All right, well, I got to give away some wonderful tickets to Potawatomi Casino Hotel because we're going to send you to some great events, as we always do. And right now is your chance to win some tickets to see Third Eye Blind. Oh, this is Third Eye Blind?
Is it? I didn't know
Bro,
that.
I had never heard of them. I've had
into you.
Third Eye Blind on Saturday, August 31st at Potawatomi Casino Hotel as part of their Amplified concert series. Oh, we're giving away two. Oh, caller 6 and caller 9 to 800-990-3776 gets a 4-pack to see Third Eye Blind. Full contest rules are at ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Third Eye Blind, August 31st at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Call right now. Caller 6, caller 9, 800-990-3776. We're back in 2 minutes. One of the most egregious statements ever heard in my house was made. I'll tell you in 2 minutes.
Hi, it's Haley from the newest Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek. Come see me today. Haircuts are just $20. Lady Jane's, Oak Creek on Howell Ave, just south of Puth Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
I'm Ben Jewick with Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors. The crew is winning ball games here in Milwaukee and around the country. Our team stands ready to help your organization win across North America. Powered by Coakley Connect, our revolutionary facilities management platform. The Coakley crew supports clients across the country manage their real estate portfolio, offering facility-focused products and services, interior design, construction, new furniture, installation, and move management. We'll help you create and manage interior environments that drive your teams forward. Visit CoakleyBrothers.com and hit a home run.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin On Demand app and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
How you like me now?
Congratulations to our winners going to Third Eye Blind.
Kyle's guy, Southside, got a W.
Oh, Southside? Southside serious?
He just said, tell Kyle Southside says hello.
Okay, for sure.
Danny in Milwaukee, but he doesn't go by that on the radio.
Oh wow! You just exposed.
You're just exposing our fans. I wanted.
My goodness gracious!
Jeez, Strofe.
Man.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe here with you.
I didn't tell you his social security number.
You about did.
That man could have people looking for him right now.
And then I got Mike in Partyville, the other winner.
Partyville, yeah. Dude, I wonder if he's close with Dale in Partyville.
I bet they're best friends.
Best friends. It's not that big of a
just
town.
like me and you.
We're still working on that. You're still on the. Yeah, we really got to work on the finalization of the list of the wedding.
I filled mine out this morning.
Oh, the KBN time capsule?
Yeah.
What'd you circle for? Is Alex Strofe going to be at Ben's wedding?
Just like yours, your answer to that, just like your fiance's answer to that. My answer to that will be revealed in February after the Packers win the Super Bowl.
Good man. Wow. Good man. For those who missed it, we have a time capsule in which we have about 75 envelopes that are going to be buried underneath my backyard in my home.
Yeah, I caught the audio that you played the other day of your fiance reacting to you saying that.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I expected her to react.
That's why I told you guys I wasn't worried about it.
I didn't expect
I figured
that.
she'd be cool about it.
You probably don't have that audio ready to go somewhere in the system?
I could probably find it, but it might take me a minute.
Go to the downloaded folder. You might be able to see it there.
Yeah. Producer helping producer.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your question here?
And so I was just thinking about that because your wedding, a lot of people, my girlfriend, shout out to her. She has been asked to be in another wedding. So congratulations to her. And next summer for me, like all my friends are waiting to their 30s, birds of a common feather flock together. So one day it will be coming soon for myself. But I'm in a lot of weddings and I'm going to a lot of weddings. Or
are you worried about the date?
I am she remembers your date actually.
How did she know?
Did you say it on air?
You even know your date?
I know my date.
Did you say it on air or no?
What is it?
It's the end of summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you must have told her or something like that. She's got a memory.
Wait, does that mean we're coming up on the 1 year mark?
We are past. We're 4 days past.
It's the 22nd. That's what she said.
August 22nd.
That's what she said.
You must have said that on air. But regardless, and so I have legitimately like 5 different weddings that I have to balance next year, and I'm just hoping that everybody's wedding is separate from one another.
No.
Separate.
Unless there's one you don't want to go to, you hope it lands on one that you do want to go to.
That's too hard. It's too hard. You got to tell somebody no.
So I'm going to bury it in our backyard, and then at the end of the season, we open up the time capsule to see what everyone predicted.
From 10 years from now, or?
No, at the end of the season. It's a season.
Where's the 10-year thing?
Where did the 10-year thing in at all?
I thought you said 10 years.
No. Before the season, end of the season, then we unlock it and read everyone's predictions, see who's right, see who's wrong.
Our backyard is already pretty looking, so...
That's why I said I could do it in my backyard, because it already looks like crap.
Yeah.
So you're cool with it?
Yeah. Okay.
Man of the house.
Yeah, man of the house. Man of the house, actually.
Speaking of being the man of the house, my fiance went to a bridal shower, and all the people at the bridal shower asked to see baby girl. So
I'm sure they did.
On Friday, my fiance left town with the baby, and I was a boys' night. I had some guys over.
Wow, you just couldn't wait to have people over, huh?
It was great time.
Did you get an invite, Strofe?
He was out of town.
What about me? I didn't get an invite.
You had plans.
I did have plans.
We talked after Tsunami Express car wash remote.
I may have gotten the invite had I been in town.
I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have counted on that as well. What I will say is,
I would have been invited.
I had a bunch of friends over, and one of the most egregious comments I've ever heard in my life was made. After we got done playing Mario Party like a bunch of 12-year-olds, Talladega Nights came on just like regular TV with commercials, right? And like everyone does this, right? You probably have access to watch Talladega Nights on any type of, I don't know, streaming platform, but I never go from the like TV version of the movie and you just watch commercials and whatnot. One of the people there said, "Oh, Talladega Nights, this is a top 5 comedy of all time."
Ooh, that's quite the statement.
I knew you would ding that.
For real?
One of my favorite movies ever.
It's not even a top
comedy of all time?
Top 3 of Will Ferrell. Old
Oh, yes, it is.
Old school.
Number 1 of Will Ferrell.
Oh no, you must
Step
have
Brothers guy?
Yeah. Oh, come on, Step Brothers.
Step Brothers went into that conversation right away. And then we talked about how each decade has probably a better comedy that goes into each decade, right? The Hangover comes to mind as a top one. You got Caddyshack for back in the day.
Talladega Nights
Animal House. Like, putting Talladega Nights in the top 5 is insane.
Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.
It's quotable, but we all sat there
I'm jacked up on Mountain Dew, Chip.
Just because it's quotable does not make it a top 5 comedy of all time.
It is. You know how I got Talladega Nights? Back when I purchased, I think it was PlayStation 3, maybe? PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 with Blu-ray. That's how I got it, and I fell in love with that movie. It is hilarious. And
Blu-ray.
Well, baby Jesus, we also thank you for my wife's father, Chip.
And I wouldn't say it's top 5 of all time, not even close being top 5, but Will Ferrell definitely.
I don't even know if it's in the top 20 of all time.
I don't know. Because I feel like we're excluding things that came before us.
That's what I'm saying.
And so that's definitely hard to say, but I will say Talladega Nights is one that's funny. I can pop it in today and watch it and be laughing my behind off.
I mean, like just like right there, I could probably name Dumb and Dumber's a classic.
That's okay.
Office Space.
Never seen it.
Old School, Super Troopers.
Oh, Super Trooper was funny.
See, like Happy Gilmore, Waterboy, Billy Madison. There is no way in the world that in any world, are you putting this on the poll, by the way? Somebody at Ben's house claimed that Talladega Nights is a top 5 comedy. Is it even in the top 20 of top 20 comedies of all time? Because that to me is probably where I draw the line. So if you don't even like movies, so is this like one of the 5 movies you've seen and you're like, oh yeah, it's funny?
I've seen more than 5 movies, but yeah, I love this movie. It's
40-year-old version, Meet the Parents.
Yeah, 40-year-old version. The movie I've seen the most.
What, Talladega
Wedding Crashers.
Either that or Step Brothers.
The Hangover.
The Hangover's also up there.
Like American Pie is a classic.
I never really watched it.
Borat, are you kidding me?
Oh, Borat is hilarious.
You know, like Talladega Nights, I very much like a Borat, and I don't think a Talladega Nights, although Sacha Baron Cohen is in Talladega Nights.
He's the Nemesis.
Sure yes,
Nemesis.
Nemesis.
I was talking too fast. Nemesis.
Austin Powers. I mean, also, I'm not going to lie. There are some black comedies that I would put ahead of Talladega.
Why are you looking at me when you say that? Are you looking at me like
you haven't seen Blue Streak, and it blows my. I didn't look at you. I looked right at Strofe.
Look at the camera. You look me directly in the eyes.
Coming to America. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Coming to America, Rush Hour, Friday. There's so many different black
comedies. It does not be
House Party.
Tommy Boy, Superbad.
Superbad was good too.
See, like, am I crazy in thinking that this should not be near the top 5?
Talladega Nights was a stretch. That was a stretch. I'm not quite sure how many carbuses deep were they?
A couple, but he stayed really true to the statement.
Sometimes people make stupid comments and then they just stand on it because of the principle of not wanting to be wrong.
Wayne's World. You probably never seen that.
What do you mean? I've heard Wayne's World. Wayne's World. Isn't that how it goes?
Yes, but again, I just named off 15 right there, and so I'm curious as to what KBN Nation says. 800-990-3776. Because I was like, Talladega Nights? Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
It's not his best Will Ferrell movie.
It's in there. It's definitely he had
Semi-Pro. Good call, loving football.
Yeah, that was Semi-Pro
is so dang funny.
Yeah, there's just a lot of different movies for him, but overall, it's not a top 5 comedy movie of all time. It's not even close to being a top 5 movie. I mean, if you only seen 5 movies that are comedy movies, then yeah, you can put it in the top 5, but not even close.
JD and Fondy, Adam Sandler greater than that was Taylor greater than Will Ferrell. Taylor's my guy who wants to go to Pato. Totally agree. There's nothing better than when you have an Adam Sandler, Waterboy, Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, all right there as they keep coming in. Talladega Nights is not a top 20 comedy. Talladega Nights is not top 5 all time, maybe top 500.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that. What is your top 5, though?
Rush Hour 2.
Shake and bake.
Rush Hour 2 is in there. I love Rush Hour 2 so much.
Hilarious.
Blue Streak is in there. It gets tough for me on the Adam Sandler ones because I love Waterboy, Billy Madison, and Happy Gilmore, but I can't pick all of them in there. Step Brothers, Wedding Crashers. I take Wedding Crashers out only because it turns into a horrible romantic, like they go away from the humor and then it gets all serious like for 30 minutes. I was like, we were rocking and rolling here, and then the movie turned south on me.
Yeah. I think for me,
Caddyshack. Like, Caddyshack is like a classic.
Have you seen Girls Trip?
No, Girls Trip.
Oh, that movie is hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. You should definitely watch it.
Anchorman. Anchorman's better than Talladega Nights.
It's up there.
I'll probably agree.
Thank you.
Wait a minute, Strofe.
The more we talk about comedies, the more Talladega Nights slips further and further down away from top five.
That I am very loyal to Will Ferrell. I'm a very big Will Ferrell.
But you get my point. Is we're getting closer to being a top 5 Will Ferrell movie than a top 5 comedy of all time.
Yeah, you tripping, Strofe.
I think I'd put Talladega Nights over Step Brothers.
Nah, that's stupid. It's not even close.
I think it's closer than you're giving it.
No, Talladega Nights is not a classic.
But Anchorman is so good. Anchorman's so good.
On Twitter at KBN ESPN, somebody at Ben Brust's house said Talladega Nights is a top 5 comedy of all time. Is it even top 20? No, early in the voting is 65%. I'm glad that KBN Nation early on has some sort of freaking, I don't know.
Hey, ever seen Friday the movie?
No, but it's on my list. Heard it's great.
It's been out for like 25 years.
It's still on my list.
That's good. No, I mean that's cool. That's cool. We got The Hangover too.
A lot of suggestions to add to the list. We got Hall Pass. Have you seen Undercover Brother?
Oh, that was good. That was good. It had me afraid.
I can't read Rich Pecker and Spread Eagle's text.
That's messed up. I'm gonna say Undercover Brother had
That's
me
just his name, and he lives in Spread Eagle.
Okay, I get it.
Highway 69, right through there.
Oh wow, that's okay.
It's a true thing.
I know. I'm sure. Undercover Brother had me thinking I shouldn't like mayonnaise.
Why is that?
Why can't you read his text?
I was just giving him crap. It's like reading his name.
Because they said black people don't like mayonnaise. So I was a kid watching Undercover Brother.
I hate mayonnaise.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It was like it was the kryptonite for the brother there. That was Eddie Griffin in that movie. But yeah.
Jason Wilde is going to answer all of our tough Packers questions. We bring the heat to Jason Wilde as now we are heading into the heart of football season right now.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You should be happy Pac-Man Jones had this on his headphones, or he definitely would have pulled up on you.
I think Pac-Man's lucky I didn't have this on my headphones.
Oh, you right.
I would have been. Right. I'm really feeling swaggy and confident.
You say, yeah, you're in my space. What you gonna do?
Because even just hearing the song, like, for those who on the YouTube, they can see I'm bobbing my head right now. Like, this is like, okay.
Go ahead, say
ski on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We're looking at a little bit of a delay around the area. 41 southbound right past Hampton Avenue, a little bit right past Capitol as well. Southbound 43 just slowing down into Capitol Drive. Westbound on 94 got some backups from about 18th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Also on 894 westbound, we're seeing backups from within the Mitchell interchange all the way past Loomis through that construction zone. Traffic is brought to you by Great Lakes Dragaway, a quarter-mile-long drag strip plus a drift pad. Even drive your own car on the track. Find full event schedules and ticket information at GreatLakesDragaway.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Well, we do have an excessive heat warning from 1 until 8 p.m. tonight for Dodge, Jefferson, and Walworth County. A heat advisory for everyone else. Tonight, partly cloudy. Storm chances with humid and warm conditions, a low of 73. Tomorrow, excessive heat watch for all of southeastern Wisconsin from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. It'll be partly cloudy. Storm chances continue very hot and humid with a high of 92 at heat index between 100 and 110. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel. Join myself and Stephen Watson every Tuesday night at 6 here on 94.5 ESPN for On the Tee, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips. Each and every Tuesday, Stephen and I are going to give you the latest in Wisconsin golf, sprinkle in some of the latest in our own golf games, plus talk about professional golf. Get your golf fix each and every Tuesday night at 6 with On the Tee, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips, right here on 94.5 ESPN, or listen back to the show with Wisconsin On Demand.
Engagement rings, wedding bands, and big anniversary diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's. They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. You hear me talk all the time about Bank 5-9 and their mission to make lives better. That mission extends beyond their customers and communities to their employees. Bank 5-9 was just honored again by Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 15 years in a row. They were named the #1 mid-sized employer in the region and earned special recognition for the company's overall direction. Want to learn more about working with my friends at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
So tell me now, do you want it? 'Cause these dancing feet don't cry to the rhythm they cry for you. And every Saturday night.
Joining us now, as he does every Monday at 3:15, is Jason Wilde. Listen to Jason on Wilde and Tausch across these various stations from 9 to noon. Catch him on podcast or on YouTube at ESPN Madison or at ESPN Milwaukee. It's Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, and Alex Strofe here with you. Jason, how are you?
I'm great. So do you yell for all 3 hours?
Yes.
I think that's a levels issue.
No. You project loudly.
So it's funny you say that, Jason. I was in a meeting today at the office, and it was a video call, and I was on the other side of where the person on the video was, and I felt like, although there are microphones in the room, that I felt like I had to project, and somebody in the room told me, "Are you always this loud?" So this is twice in one day. Maybe I need to take a sec.
No, it makes them great, Jason.
It's so you kind of crescendo as the music does, and then you kind of dial it down toward the end. So it's fine. I I'm not usually in the car, and I have it on the Apple CarPlay, and it just felt like really loud, and it's great because I feel like, if you were calling a play on the court during the Final Four run or something, you got to be able to project. So I'm fine with it. It just struck me as particularly loud as we were sitting in the car.
Thank you, Jason Wilde, for the observation.
You're trying to project, but this is what you do.
I know. That's just me. Jason.
You're welcome, Ben. What else do you want to talk about?
One of the most egregious statements of all time was made at my house on Friday that Talladega Nights is a top 5 comedy of all time. Do you agree that it's not even in the top 20?
I'm not even sure it's a top 5 film with Will Ferrell.
Thank you.
Okay, Jason,
just went through this. Yes, no, it's
Explain
it's Fringe
or The Self.
Old school Step Brothers.
Like, does he have to? First of all, I actually like Ted. Come on, what am I doing here? The Anchorman.
Yes.
I like Anchorman. So that's in there. That's 3. I understand he only has a cameo role, but the role he plays in Wedding Crashers is still one of my favorites. Yes. We use that in our house all the time, even though none of us eats meatloaf. So I mean, if I were to put down my list of Will Ferrell movies, Talladega Nights is not in the top 5 and might not be in the top 10.
Oh, Jason, you're tripping.
No, he's on the right side of history on our Twitter poll and just on the right side of history with a knowledge.
Absolutely tripping.
That's where I like to be.
Jason, the preseason is over, and something Bradley Nortman, our co-host, kind of alluded to today earlier was the fact that he's disappointed in the fact that the Packers starters didn't have a lot of snaps this preseason. Do you have any concern with the Packers and their lack of snaps?
I think some context here would be appropriate. He cited the fact that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs got two different times to go out there.
Yeah, I appreciate the context. I would say this. Brad Nortman played in the NFL and I didn't, so I am reluctant to push back on that. But you guys know my position already. My position is I am not losing an important player to a game that doesn't count in the standings.
Is that because of Jordy Nelson?
It is. Well, it's not just because of Jordy Nelson, but it is primarily because of him. Yes, I just here's my issue with the preseason, Bradley. Is that how does Brad go by Bradley now? Did I miss a meeting?
We mix it up every now and again when he's trying to.
Brad once in a while, Bradley sometimes.
Bradley when he's trying to be above us.
It does sound a little snooty. Although Bradley Cooper, he seems likable. I wonder what his top 5 movies are. So I would say this: if you're going to go out there and you're going to run a bunch of vanilla stuff, right? And you don't know, you can't control who you're playing against. Like the Packers, for instance, those starters played 3 snaps of offense and 8 snaps of defense against the Browns, but the Browns didn't play their starters. So the fact that Dontavion Wicks torched that safety, that guy's not starting safety. They didn't have their starters out there. They had Myles Garrett coming off the edge. So how productive is that? I don't know. I do think there's a value in going through the game day process, if that makes sense, of, getting your game face on or your regular face and going through warm-ups and being in the right place mentally. I always liked when Mike McCarthy used to have the guys go through the week as if they were going to play and then pulled the plug after warm-ups and said, all right, you guys aren't going. I thought it was really interesting. I don't know if you guys saw this because it was a smaller part of my story, and I don't think it probably made a lot of the audio clips that we pulled from LaFleur, but bless you, Sid. But I think it's interesting that what LaFleur did was told the guys on Friday that you're not going to play, but then had the guys who were going to play go through a walkthrough in preparation for what they were going to call, and then had the starters go through a legitimate full-speed practice. I think it was in shorts and helmets, but still they had competitive periods, etc. So they had a little a game-like feel, but didn't play a game in which there was actual risk. I think that these joint practices are far superior because not only is your quarterback not in the same level of danger, but as long as you know that the team that you're doing the joint practice with is not on your schedule, is not going to share the tape from the practice with any of your upcoming opponents or any insights they got.
Do they have to sign NDAs? Sorry to interrupt, but that is an interesting thing.
They should. I think that's a really good idea because, again, Aaron Rodgers, I don't like the way he went about it in 2019, but that doesn't mean he was wrong. They wasted their time with the Texans because they ran a bunch of vanilla garbage because they were worried about Chuck Pagano's brother, who was on the Texans staff, telling Chuck Pagano everything, and Chuck Pagano was the Bears' defensive coordinator, and then they thought they'd be at a disadvantage when they opened the season against the Bears with the first game of the regular season. If you're able to do all the things and run your actual playbook and no one's going to see it on tape, I think that's way better than risking playing guys in a preseason game where you can. I mean, you look at the Ravens. They had multiple guys get hurt in the game on Saturday, and guys that are supposed to play for them that now won't be available.
We're talking with Jason Wilde here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe running the show. Jason, obviously you know where the conversation is with this team and trying to figure out the backup quarterback and kicker. Which is more important to a team? I know obviously you need a kicker. Like, you can't just go and not have a kicker, but you get the spirit of the question. If, God forbid, something happens to Jordan Love for like 2 to 5 games, right? You need somebody who can come in and help the team not lose the season. What's your sort of stance on the kind of 2 questions that I asked?
Yeah, I have always preferred 3 quarterbacks, and now that they've expanded the practice squads after COVID, the 2 on the 53 and a 3rd on the practice squad. And the idea of playing your starter, but having a veteran, I always think of Matt Hasselbeck, who started a ton of games in the NFL, and then the last 3 or 4 years of his career, he was a veteran backup who was there to help young quarterbacks develop, who was there if your quarterback got hurt, that he'd be able to play. I thought he was perfect. And just like I thought Matt Ryan would have been perfect last year. Now, Matt Ryan is way smarter than me, and he knew that if he had signed with the Packers and been a backup, then whatever the Packers would have paid him, he would have had deducted from the money that the Colts owed him. So he would have basically been playing for free. So what he did is he went and did the CBS thing, and now it appears he's fully retired. But I would have loved for him to be the backup. Even if you viewed him as washed as a starter, that's a guy that has proven he's won an MVP, could probably get you through a few games that we don't know Sean Clifford or Michael Pratt can do. There was an interesting thing from Tom Pelissero today, though, that I made note of, and that was that the NFLPA vetoed an idea that would have had you were allowed to have unlimited call-ups of practice squad quarterbacks to the 53-man roster on game days. Because I wonder if the Packers were thinking, we cut both of these guys. Nobody's going to want them. We don't have to carry either one of them on our 53.
Dang, yes.
And we can sneak
enticing.
another guy onto the 53, and then we can call up whichever guy we want for that week to be the backup. I wonder if Goody was thinking that way, and if this kind of foiled his plan. That'll be one of my questions for him if and when we get to talk to him.
Jason, what you just said, nobody else wants these guys? It doesn't sound appealing to me whatsoever.
Yeah, well, I'm speaking for me. Like, I don't. Maybe they think, but do you? Let's put it this way. I don't know what either of those guys will eventually become. Yeah. Right? One was a 5th rounder, one was a 7th rounder. But if you're one of the other 31 teams and you're watching film of this summer's Packers preseason games, are you claiming either one of those guys and using up a roster spot on your 53-man roster?
Probably not.
For one of those 2? No way you are. No way.
And Jason, with the receiver competition, I love all the receivers. The 7 receivers that the Green Bay Packers have. Which one is going to be the odd man out? Is it going to be Malik Heath, Bo Melton, or Grant DuBose?
Ooh, I think that's a really good question. I'm really curious to see if they get any sort of trade interest of any of those guys, because that could be the tiebreaker. I think DuBose had a really good camp. Again, it comes down to, is anyone going to claim any of these guys if you cut them? And I don't know the answer to that. That's the risk you have to obviously take. I don't think it happens real often, frankly. Obviously, we remember the time when Taysom Hill was claimed. They didn't think that would happen. But I don't know. Is Grant DuBose going to get claimed? I doubt it. Maybe. I suppose it's possible. But Bo Melton, I think, would, right? I mean, if you look at what he did last season, playing in games that counted, he's got an appeal. Malik Heath, from a blocking perspective, and he's made some catches in camp and in preseason, I think there's a good chance he might get claimed. So I would think the guy that you risk is the guy that has the least amount of film out there, because they want Grant DuBose on their team. They clearly like him. Whether or not they can they're not carrying 8 wide receivers, so they're going to have to figure something else out.
I like this as just an extension here. Do you think they would ever field a trade on any of the top 4 to keep one of the bottom 3?
Ooh. I don't think so. I mean, I think the top 4, as much as I like 5 through 8, and I did a story for the State Journal just about those 4 guys, because I do think all of them are legit NFL receivers, which is crazy to say. They go 8 deep at wide receiver, but I really think it's true. I don't think any of them, maybe Melton, are in a position to really and truly challenge those other 4. I think those 4 are pretty clearly head and shoulders above the next 5 through 8.
Jason, we appreciate your time, and we know that roster cuts are tomorrow, and we are heading into having even more fun conversations about the season. Yes, Kyle?
Jason, who will be the kicker come Thursday when you join us again?
Ooh, I still think that it's going to be Anders Carlson. I think they're going to. I think their mentality is, we don't want to do to Anders Carlson what the Vikings did to Daniel Carlson and end up regretting giving up on him too soon. But as I said to Tausch this morning, the problem is that 32-yard field goal that he missed in and of itself isn't that big of a deal, but it's indicative of how he just has this ability, even in a game where he seems to be humming along, to then miss a kick. Again, he missed a kick in 10 of their last 12 games. And what that says to me is that even when things are going well, you just can't count on him to keep that consistency. But if I have to pick, I'm picking him.
And lastly, Jason, on just a quick answer, do you think Anders will finish the season as the kicker?
God, I don't know if I've ever given a quick answer, especially not on this show.
Yeah, that was a setup for a failure by me.
It was, but it was at a nice low tone, which I really appreciated.
Thank you.
I would not take that bet.
You asked for a nice, quick answer, and he gave it to you.
I had Alex Strofe talking in my ear, so I missed the answer. Jason,
he said he would not take that bet.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that based off your reaction. Jason, we appreciate the time. We'll talk to you on Thursday, all right?
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. Listen to him weekdays, 9 to noon across these various stations. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. And look, I think that question about the receivers, Kyle, is actually pretty fascinating because Jason said he believes that those are 7 wide receivers that are legit NFL players. We'll keep diving into that. Plus, we got Cheers to and Pouring Out coming up next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I put my card in, I pump. When it clicks, I pull it out, I put it away, and I move on to my life.
That's what she said. Thanks so much, old T.
She pumps and moves on with her life.
Take it out, put it in, moves on.
That's what she said.
Come on, Kyle. Keep up. That's Packers Hall of Famer. That was one of my better ones, and he's confused.
Well,
he's still fixated on Lola Bunny.
No, I don't think she says that.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, traffic is moving along pretty well right now. A little bit backed up westbound 94 from about 17th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 41 just a bit backed up right around the North Avenue curve right past Mayfair Road. We've also got some delays coming out of the Mitchell interchange heading over to Loomis. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. It's hot out there. An excessive heat warning from 11 to 8 p.m. today for Dodge, Jefferson, and Walworth counties, and a heat advisory for everyone else. Tonight, partly cloudy, storm chances, humid and warm with a low of 73. Tomorrow, excessive heat warning Tuesday for all of southeast Wisconsin from 11 until 7 p.m. Partly cloudy skies with storm chances continuing, very hot and humid with a high of 92 and heat index of 100 to 110. Weather is brought to you by Higher Love Cannabis Company. Find your Higher Love today, only 59 miles from Green Bay. Find higherlove.com/CBD. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Denny Moscow, 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
You've paid too much for that nice ride. Why put it through a gas station car wash when you can treat it to Tsunami Express instead? At Tsunami Express Car Wash, you can expect nothing but the best with unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, and powerful free vacuums. Tsunami Express is now open in Midtown Milwaukee at the intersection of Fond du Lac Avenue and Capitol Drive. Get a free car wash only at the Tsunami Express Midtown Milwaukee location August 21st through September 1st. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at TsunamiExpress.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Ian Fitzsimmons.
Aaron Judge. He's one of the more fan-friendly superstars that we have seen playing for especially a logo team like the New York Yankees. When you're as amicable and friendly and outgoing with not just your fan base, but when you're on the road and he's cognizant of it, that's what makes him even that more endearing to people who don't like the Yankees or hate the Yankees, because it's very hard to hate Aaron Judge. At least for me. I'm a Cubs fan, right? We got one dub in my lifetime. My mom said I can now die in peace because her Saints won a Super Bowl and her Cubbies won a World Series. Because I have seen it all. I am good to go. Lord, take me to sports heaven. Not kidding. And she hates the Yankees, but she loves Aaron Judge. How do you not like the guy? He's the antithesis of Barry Bonds hitting bombs. Bottom line, into conversation.
Lowe's knows saving pros time and money means getting the job done easier. Right now, get up to 50% off select composite decking and railing. Plus, get an extra 5% off every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. 5% off or subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at Lowe's.com/credit for details.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns to turnovers and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe running the show. 800-990-3776. You can get us on Twitter at KBN ESPN or get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. What'd you think of my intro there, Strofe? How did that go?
Well, you went from way up here to way down here.
Trying to work on my levels, not make it spike so much on the level thingy-majiggy you got back there.
Are you aware you yell?
Honestly, I just thought I projected. Is yelling projecting?
Ooh, what's the difference?
To be true.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well,
this is me just like getting demonstrative and talking on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Kyle, what the hell is wrong with you? Is me yelling?
Okay, yeah. And then what is you just talking?
Loud. Loud noises.
Coach B used to guys that would talk quietly, especially in meetings. He'd say, "Say it with confidence."
I love that.
It means like basically, speak up, son.
It's time to cheers to and pour one out.
The weekend is over, so let's pop some bottles. It's time for Cheers to and Pour One Out on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Bradley, go ahead.
I'd love to. I cheers to college football starting, but more importantly, college football upsets. I love the fact that the very first game of the season was a big upset when Florida State got upset by Georgia Tech in Ireland. And why does this matter? Georgia Tech was a 10.5 underdog to Florida State. That's like what the same line is for Wisconsin versus Alabama, Wisconsin versus Penn State, Wisconsin versus Oregon, a 10-point underdog. It reminds me, hope springs eternal, that if Georgia Tech can do it to Florida State, maybe, just maybe, Wisconsin can do it to Alabama, Oregon, or Penn State. So cheers to college football upsets, particularly if it helps my Wisconsin Badgers.
Oh, I love that. I want to cheers to something a little bit different. And it's not on 94.5 ESPN or 100.5 ESPN Madison or 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, but 620 WTMJ. We have a teammate named Dom Catronio. Dom came on, I want to say, on our show one time before. And His father is the play-by-play radio broadcaster for the Oakland Athletics, who will no longer be the Oakland Athletics as of this year. I don't know if you guys saw the news. They're moving to Vegas one of these days. And something that I want to cheers to is the fact that shout out to the Oakland A's for not only letting my Brewers beat the snot out of them this weekend. I know we won 2 or 3 games, but it still felt good for the Brewers to win. But also shout out to them because they allow Dom, one of our teammates here, to do play-by-play with his dad in the radio booth, as his dad will no longer be the Oakland A's play-by-play announcer. So a father-son play-by-play booth for the Oakland A's for one of our teammates here at GKB, who also does extra innings for the Brewers on 620 WTMJ. I thought that was a really heartwarming, cool story. So cheers
Nice,
to that.
heartfelt story from Kyle Wallace, and Dom does a great job on all of our coverage on Brewers Radio and 620 WTMJ. I'd like to cheers to, in the spirit of college football. Oh, man. Hawaii played on Saturday. Hawaii played Delaware State.
They still the Rainbow Warriors?
I believe so, but all I know is they were 11 o'clock p.m. start.
Oh, goodness.
And I was hanging out with my former co-host, Greg Scalzo, and we placed a Scalzo and Brust dual bet together.
Oh, it's back.
And we looked at Hawaii, minus 40 against Delaware State, and said, Hawaii? We've lost too many times on Hawaii late night that we're going to give the points. Plus 40 for Delaware State.
Wait, what? Whoa.
We're 1-0, Scalzo and Brust betting account.
Delaware State. Hawaii's that bad?
They won by 21.
Well, no,
they didn't cover 40.
Hawaii was a 40-point favorite.
Oh, favorite.
Anybody a 40-point favorite is eye-popping.
It's eye-popping.
Y'all know when the season comes, y'all going to have to remind me what.
Yeah, about the...
the plus is mine.
I know you're a higher or lower guy.
Yeah,
that game was tied in the third quarter.
That's what I'm saying. And the best part about some of those is this game was so bad, Hawaii and Delaware State. I went on ESPN Plus. I went on the ESPN app. They didn't even have GameCast for it. You know when you could follow the football and even get play-by-play? I couldn't even track it like that. So that was a place it, go to sleep, wake up, forget you placed it, and then remember 2 hours later and find out you won. So shout out to late night college football betting, because it's the best when you get those late night games.
Wow, that is quite the experience. Well, without further ado, let me pour one out. I pour one out to the Green Bay Packers wearing their white uniforms at home. I know this was a preseason game, and they're maybe trying it out or something, but something about the Packers wearing their away uniforms at Lambeau, it just
What about the winter warning ones?
I can maybe get behind that, but if they're not wearing the green at home, it just looks weird to me. It really does, particularly when it's the objectively away ones. Now, I know that Dallas does that, and if you're a southern team, you want to avoid the sun, so you'd wear white for the first couple games. But the Packers wearing white at home, their away uniforms at home, it just looks strange to me. I had to look away. I went as far as that.
That is a bit dramatic.
I had to look away. I can't even look at this.
Did that not scream dramatic?
It was confusing.
You are aware they wore their green uniforms at Cleveland and at Denver, correct?
I don't like that.
It was still different, though. I'm not going to lie. I saw it. I'm like, that's
It's just
interesting.
preseason.
It's just
Jordan
weird.
Love didn't even put on a jersey.
It's just bad for the eyes.
It is interesting.
It upset me. It upset
You're
me.
such an old
I'm
head.
offended. I'm offended. I really am.
Offended?
I'm offended. I'm offended by the choice.
You and Mark Murphy.
Grow up.
Well, I'm going to pour one out. Did you guys know smoke detectors now?
guys?
So when you were kids growing up, how did you, if a smoke detector went off in your home, what did you do to get it off?
When I was
growing up.
Hold the button. Did I grow up poor?
You just hold the button.
Hold the button. I used to have to fan the smoke. All I did was fan the smoke.
You could do that too.
I was doing that because we bought a little cast iron skillet. We made some steaks yesterday. It got very, very smoky.
Do you not have a vent?
Open the windows. Summertime.
Listen.
No, I'm with you. I have a microwave with a vent, and I love using the cast iron skillet. But I didn't use the vent, and all the windows were open, and the smoke alarm was still going off.
It's still bellowed out there, and so the smoke detector's going off, and I'm just moving my arms with all the different. I had 2 different things. I'm going left, right, left, right, left, right, and I'm thinking, dang, the neighbors gonna think we really burning down the house. And so then I walk over. I said, this thing's been going off for 5 minutes. What do I do? And I saw a little button. I said, let me just try to just see if this works. And I pressed the button and stopped. I said, this must be that new age smoke detector. That's a thing?
It's been a thing.
Oh, yeah.
The Wallace household did not have that. We had to just shake our arms unless we're just stupid.
You need the arm workout.
Oh, hush. I do. I'm a little flabby.
What do you mean, oh, hush? You know you need it.
I'm a little flabby, but yeah, all is well. But I was like, this is weird. So what if like you have a real fire going on? You press the button, and be like, I'm just going to.
Well, if there's real fire, I have a feeling you'll know there's a real fire.
Yeah, you're going to be hustling out
real
of there.
fire, hit it. Boom,
You want people
the
to be
flames
aware.
are over there, but I'm going to go ahead and turn this guy off right here.
Yeah, but I did not know that. So pour one out to. I was going to pour one out to the fact that I didn't know that. Yeah.
I'd like to pour one out to
was
Kevin
dumb.
Garnett for being dumber than Kyle and saying that Giannis Antetokounmpo is not even a top 4 player in the Eastern Conference of the NBA. We have now reached the point of further than stupidity. And we know, I wouldn't say I fall victim to the saying things for attention thing, but Giannis is unfreaking believable. Even just watching what he did in the Olympics with a team full of guys that couldn't even sniff the NBA and the numbers that he put up and how great he is and how hard he plays. He brought a championship to Milwaukee for the first time in 50 years. Yeah, that's the worst thing I've heard in a very, very long time. Pour one out to Kevin Garnett. Anything you'd like to cheers to and pour one out to, Strophy? Looks like you were texting, so I wanted to see if you're ready for a take.
I was reading about Samaje Perine getting traded potentially.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
that's deep into the NFL rumors.
Why does that matter to us?
Yeah, what does that matter for KBN?
What if the Packers trade for a running back?
The Packers aren't
trading
trading
for
for a
AJ
running
Dillon.
But you think they don't have Marshawn Lloyd, who's going to be healthy come week 1?
Is he going to be healthy?
He might not be healthy. They might put him on the IR.
He said he was going to be healthy.
Oh.
You always listen to the player, right? The player always knows their prognosis. Yeah, that's right.
Can I just say, Kevin Garnett, no shots at your ability to read, but I want him to say the word equivalent. Before he can talk about Giannis not being top 4, say the word equivalent.
And if you don't know what Kyle's talking about, it's worth your time. Look up Kevin Garnett and equivalent, unless Strofe is working magic and smiling.
I never know where it's going to go. Okay, here we go. Kind of like name an NFL equivalent for each NBA player.
He wanted to say name an NFL equivalent for each NBA player.
One more time, Strofe.
Kind of like name an NFL equivalent for each NBA player.
Listen,
I can't even follow that.
Shut up. Giannis is top number 1 or top 2 for sure.
Brad, I was going through my phone and I saw videos of us in the showroom. There is T-minus 5 days at 0% interest for 60 months. Can I yell now, guys? 0% interest for 60 months. Everyone needs to know.
And if you're wondering, man, is maybe the time for me to do it? That deal should elicit your urgency to do it. 0% interest for 60 months. The warm weather outside. I mean, today is when you're thankful you have Pella windows and doors, keeping that air conditioning in. And if you don't, what are you waiting for? That is the sign that you need to race to PellaWI.com today to take advantage of that deal that ends on August 30th. So do not wait. PellaWI.com.
I've documented this in the past to KBN Nation, but I have a tab on our Kyle, Brust, and Nortman show sheet and pre-show meeting sheet where I have quirky Brad stuff. Let's just say one NFL player does things like our quirky Brad. We'll tell you who it is and what happened next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Oh, wow. North? Spread Eagle is way north. Way north.
Man, stop. You're doing the thing where you don't know what you're doing.
No, it is, though.
We don't know where up north is.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Wildy and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light.
I think I'm going to have to bring Romeo Dobbs into the Tausch stand category and start promoting and pushing him more.
Wildy and Tausch.
I feel like he is just so criminally. Like, he's an afterthought for too many Packer fans, and I think he's going to have a bust-out year.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
September baseball is coming, and every Brewers game means even more this time of year. Get to American Family Field as the crew takes on the Rockies September 6th through the 8th. Get your seats now at Brewers.com.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Me too.
She absolutely nailed it.
Are you talking about Jenny Sambeline? Yeah, Jenny and her pendant, the music in a mother's heart. Hi,
Rick. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Monica. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Jenny, we're going to produce your pendant design as a limited edition collector's item and put a few of them in all of our 8 Kessler stores.
Congratulations, Jenny. Wow, this is huge.
Jenny, we expect the music in a mother's heart to sell out very quickly.
We'll also make a few available online.
I designed that pendant from the memory of how my mother made me feel when we'd sing together.
How often did that happen?
Constantly. We'd sing along with whatever was playing on the radio, or sometimes we would watch a musical on TV and sing along with that.
At just $124, the music in a mother's heart is going to sell out lightning fast.
I'm buying one.
I'm buying one.
I bought the prototype the moment I saw it.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Wallace. Right now at Universal Windows Direct, get 0% financing for 60 months, restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
The Island invites you to fall into golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. Fall golf rates run September 16th through the end of the 2024 season, with tee time starting at $75 and stay and play packages starting at $110. And submit your 2025 golf package request early to guarantee choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
Save big money on everything for your projects at Menards. Update your outdoor space with our huge in-stock selection of AC2 pressure-treated lumber, decking, and fencing. Load out big savings using our drive-through lumberyard. Plus, get free estimates fast using our deck and fence design programs. Menards, America's #1 home improvement retailer for customer satisfaction, according to J.D. Power. Visit jdpower.com for details and menards.com for deals.
Save big money at Menards.
IndyCar returns to the Milwaukee Mile at Wisconsin State Fair Park this Labor Day weekend, August 30th through September 1st. The Hy-Vee Milwaukee Mile 250s weekend features NTT IndyCar Series races on both Saturday and Sunday. Don't miss the fun in the free fan zone all weekend long, including live entertainment at the Bank 59 Amphitheater with headliners including Ian Munsick and Quiet Riot. Get your tickets now at wistatefair.com and experience Hy-Vee Milwaukee Mile 250s weekend, August 30th through September 1st.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Quirky Bradisms. We got a lot of them. One of them being that he sneaks in food to movie theaters, and not just any food.
He doesn't sneak into food. He's basically breaking the rules.
I don't know. I feel like it's unwritten.
Rules.
It's an unwritten rule.
Sugar-free candies, his own popcorn, you name it.
LaCroix.
Salads in a bag.
Salads in a bag.
Brad, if somebody brought food to your house just to eat and you were cooking dinner that day, would you be offended?
I would respect the courage. I'd say good for you.
Now, your wife texted you something. She's on the lookout for your weird things that you do, too, to protect you?
Yeah, so Lexi, my wife, follows Brock Purdy's wife, Jenna Purdy. And what
Football
do you know?
wives.
Last night, she Instagrammed a picture, whatever that's called, stories. What is that?
Instagram story.
Instagram stories.
Oh my
and
gosh.
what do you know? If you're on YouTube, you can see it as I'm seeing it, and we saw it last night. She said, "Date night with my babe at Unreal Snacks and Stove Pop Popcorn." They snuck in their own candy and their own popcorn. I'm seeing popcorn out of like a gallon bag for Brock Purdy and his wife.
That
So
is
what do you know?
embarrassing.
What do you know, boys? It must just be an NFL player thing.
You've made more money than Brock Purdy.
I don't know about off the field. Brock Purdy is.
I don't know any endorsements. Wait, what is
Brock Purdy after taxes is like $400,000 to $500,000 in San Francisco.
Oh, he's poor in San Francisco.
Oh no! Wait, Brock Purdy has signed with Air Alaska, Toyota, and Buffalo Wild Wings. Your boy didn't get any of those endorsements.
I mean, it's a local endorsement.
According to Sportskeeda, earlier this year, he has made about $500,000 from brand deals.
That's good. That's pretty good. He's
still not Brad Nortman money.
70% of
He's
it.
still making less than $1 million a year.
Guys, you got to remember, I'm a retired NFL player. He's current. He's going to
You
get that
worked
QB
in finance.
He's going to get that QB1 contract.
Right.
When did you start
invested
working
money.
in finance?
2020.
But you also invested your money as well.
Do you
were
have
in the
blue
league.
eyes?
Yes.
Are you 6'5"?
No, 6'3".
Are you think they're twins?
Do you have a trust fund?
No.
Okay.
It's a lot
Why
of
does
questions.
Brock?
Yeah.
Can you
That's a
more
very
context,
strange
please?
Purdy's not 6'5".
Line of
I'll tell you that
questioning.
much.
He ain't 6'5". No way.
No, he's 6'1".
This is pretty.
What are you
interesting
doing
que-
over
yeah,
there?
yeah, what are you,
Alex Strofe running the show behind the glass.
6'5", blue eyes.
You guys didn't hear this meme?
Trust fund. 6'5", blue eyes.
What does this meme have to
Finance,
Is
blue
that
eyes.
like characteristics you're looking for in a dude?
Yeah, this woman was on her couch saying she's looking for a man in finance. 6'5" Blue Eyes Trust Fund.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh,
It was
wow.
like the
That'd be
meme
quite
of
the way to pick 'em.
2024. Nobody saw this?
No,
It's been a Gen Z meme.
Yeah. New
Yes.
to me. Definitely new to me. But something that's disappointing is the fact that, first and foremost, didn't realize how broke Brock Purdy was because, again,
It's that California taxes and
too much. That's why you went
Mr. Irrelevant.
You went to Florida for a reason. And then on top of that, he should be ashamed of himself. The fact that he not only went into the movie theater, but he also tagged the dang candy, that is so desperate. If I was at that movie theater, I would say,
Get your ass out of here.
Get out of here.
Brock Purdy. Yeah, that's a bad look.
No, you owe us money
That's
for
a
the
bad look.
popcorn, or you owe us money for
You know
the
what?
candy.
Remember when Giannis didn't get seated at a local establishment? That didn't go over well for the local establishment.
That's true.
Yes. But if you were
It's quite a
to
move.
if you were allowed to sneak in anything to a movie theater, what would be the number one thing that you would sneak in?
Number one, above anything else, would indeed be carbless. That's because carbless, man, it doesn't matter if I'm watching a movie, hanging out on a beautiful night like tonight, going to a Brewer game, hanging out by the lake or barbecues. Carbless is my go-to drink. There's a flavor for everybody. Like the fruit flavors, a fruit flavor on a night like tonight would be absolutely perfect. Cranberry, black cherry, lemon lime, or classic cocktails, Paloma and Moscow Mule, and the margarita 4-pack just screams of summer. But not only that, I mean, man, I'm working out. I'm trying to eat healthy, just like my other food I'm sneaking into. Carbless has guilt-free experience. No carbs, no sugars, 100 calories per can, gluten-free, and less carbonation leading to less bloat. It's just a guilt-free experience when I drink Carbless. If you have not discovered why Liss is more and drink Carbless, then you need to now. Drink Carbless, Liss is more. Find them online and at retailers near you.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman will be with you on 94.5 ESPN, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, and of course, streaming on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. It's Jim, Matt, and Molly coming up next in Madison, but we got a lot to get to still. Kyle's Big Packers question of the day, Brian Balaga, and a whole lot more. Don't go anywhere. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman continues next in 2 minutes.
They want you to hear. Tell me it's cool. I just don't believe it. Sell out with me, oh yeah. Sell out with me tonight.
A couple of crashes on 41 going to be causing some problems. One is right about at Center Street. 2 left lanes are blocked right now because of this. And then a little bit further on, we've got another crash off on the right shoulder just past Mayfair Road. Big delays stretching all the way back to Appleton Avenue at this point. We've also got westbound on 94 slowing down from basically the 17th Street all the way to Hawley Road. We've also got an accident on the off-ramp to Moreland Road from 94 westbound. So watch out for that one. Eastbound 94 is going to be slowing down from just before Hawley Road all the way to about 35th Street. Traffic is brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Book your fantasy football draft party for a free draft kit, free room rental, free appetizers, and more. Dave & Buster's, your ultimate fantasy football draft experience. Visit dmvparty.com to get started. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast, we've got an excessive heat warning until 8 p.m. for most of southeast Wisconsin. Warm and muggy, slight chance of thunderstorms later on, a low of 75. And then tomorrow, excessive heat warning from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. for most of southeastern Wisconsin. Mostly sunny, hot, and humid. Chance for thunderstorms later on, a high of 94, and heat index from 100 to 110. Weather's brought to you by the Racine Raiders. Catch the Gridiron Bowl 2024 on Saturday, August 31st at 7 p.m. at Horlick Field in Racine. Get your tickets now at gridironbowl2024.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, I'm Jeff Levering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free and home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See 31.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. We them boys.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on KBN.
Strofe, you missed the best 414 hour at 4 intro ever when we were at the corner of Capitol and Fond du Lac at Tsunami Express.
Why was it the best one ever?
Because we were in the heart of the 414.
Yeah, I was at home, and I grew up right down the street from there.
Yeah, Kyle's delivery
was
was just on point.
Good old Capitol Court Santa Claus. The black Santa Claus they had there, actually. Have you ever been sat on a black Santa Claus lap?
I can't say I have.
Can't say that I have.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So the mall's not there anymore.
Is that why it's not there?
Because of the black Santa Claus?
No, I don't think the black Santa. I think the economy and the fact that nobody was shopping there is the reason why the mall's not there.
There it is. Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe running the show. UKBN Nation, as always, can have your voice heard at 800-990-3776 and catch us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. Now, the Green Bay Packers have wrapped up. Preseason roster cuts are tomorrow, and we head towards next Friday's regular season game against the Philadelphia Eagles. A couple questions that remain after the preseason finale for the Green Bay Packers is, who the hell is the backup quarterback, and who the hell is the kicker? Brad, you specialize in one of these, but I guess what matters more, right? And obviously, in the spirit of this question, I know you need a kicker on the roster to kick. You can't just go into the season without a kicker. Technically, I guess you could not go in with a backup quarterback, but that wouldn't be wise either. So what matters more, a backup QB or a kicker?
Well, I could make a really good argument for a backup quarterback. I really could.
Well, let's hear it.
Okay. Backup quarterback, 3 things they can do, right? Especially if you're a good one, maybe one that's veteran, you can be involved in game planning, right? I mean, you can help the young quarterback in Jordan Love actually be able to read a defense.
Who in your career did you see do that at a elite level for your teams?
Derek Anderson for the Carolina Panthers for Cam Newton, Chad Henne for Blake Bortles, who was also the backup quarterback for Patrick Mahomes when they won the first Super Bowl. Actually, maybe 2 Super Bowls. Anyway.
Point taken.
Those guys were good. They were smart. They were ready. They were like another coach on the field. It was incredibly helpful to have those guys there, both watching film and in the meeting room.
Well, that is insightful for your first point, because I have a feeling that Sean Clifford and Michael Pratt cannot do that for Jordan Love.
They cannot, which is why I'm curious as to what the Packers are going to do. Number 2, obviously the Band-Aid in case something happens to Jordan Love. If Jordan Love is out for the season, let's say with something, okay, you can just wash away the season. It doesn't matter anymore.
Don't say that again. That's like the A word, the Achilles word.
It's true. But if it's a small ding, if it's 3 games, if it's 5 games, you better hope that you can give a quarterback that can get at least a couple wins, that can at least go 500, that can keep the ship afloat. Because you can't go off and just lose a month straight and lose 4 games. That might be enough to just get you out of the playoffs. So you need a guy that's there in a physical and violent game. That's number 2.
So number 1, number 2, go 500 as a backup quarterback if anything happens to your starter in Jordan Love for 2 to 4 games. Yep. I would put an on that one too.
And this is the final one that people don't think of. The backup quarterback is the heartbeat of the scout team. And the scout team legitimately needs to give a good, realistic, challenging look to the defense. I mean, Derek Anderson, sometimes we had a good defense for the Carolina Panthers, top defense in the NFL the year we went to the Super Bowl. Derek Anderson would challenge that defense. Now, he wasn't some world beater, but he started as an NFL quarterback. He started for a few different teams, the Browns and the Cardinals, and he would just sometimes try to cook and challenge the defense as much as he possibly could. Fearless in his way to do it. Chad Henne did the same thing to the very good Jacksonville Jaguar defense that we had. Those guys are critical when it comes to actually challenging the defense, actually doing their part and giving them a look. I think that is a secret sauce to elevating the defense. You can't just throw a scrub in there and make it easy for the defense. It's going to shock the defense on Sunday. So having a very good backup quarterback for a very good scout team look, a NFL starter quality look, is also critical. Are we 0 for 3?
I would put an X there for the reason that in training camp for Jordan Love, he would struggle at times against the defense. And one thing that we did not like of this Packers offseason is that when Matt LaFleur kind of pulled the reins back on the starters, right, and they kind of relaxed, they didn't have the greatest joint practice against the Broncos. I mean, and if I think we talked, are they reading into their hype a little bit too much, right? And if you have a Sean Clifford going against this number one defense, the Green Bay Packers, I'm not saying the Packers are going to have a top 5 defense, but I'm not saying that Sean Clifford's going to challenge them to get better.
No, I don't think he is. And to me, that's why this question. I think a kicker is more important, but I am more concerned about the backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, this is stupid. This is stupid, Brad. I love you, but this is stupid. You know when I say I love you, you know I really, I care.
Some jabs are coming.
But the backup,
I love Brad Nortman.
Who was the backup? Who was the backup quarterback last year for the Green Bay Packers?
Sean Clifford.
It was Sean Clifford. Now, regardless of if Sean Clifford's the starter or if it's Mr. Michael Pratt, I believe his first name is Michael, Mr. Pratt, or if it's Ryan Tannehill as you suggested, or if it's Mike White, if Jordan Love ain't taking snaps behind center, your team doesn't have a great shot of winning football games this year, regardless of who that quarterback is. So that's why, for me, the backup quarterback doesn't impact the game as much as a kicker does.
The Browns last year were a great example.
Because they had a great defense and Joe Flacco, they caught lightning in the bottle, and they got him. His feet were up, just like my feet are up right now, and they got Joe Flacco to go in there. So that just shows you that you can probably find a quarterback, a veteran quarterback, to come in there if you don't feel comfortable with who you have at quarterback. But that kicking position, guess what? It wasn't Jordan Love who missed field goals last year. It wasn't Jordan Love who missed a chip shot and a 32-yard field goal on Saturday.
It was Jordan Love who threw it away on first down.
Yeah, but he got us in the position in order for him to get that field goal, and then I know he threw an interception. But that is what it is. Jordan Love is our star. He's our guy. He's our franchise quarterback. But we don't have a franchise kicker. Somebody sent me a tweet today who said, who would have thought the Packers were going to take longer to replace Mason Crosby than they would of Aaron Rodgers? And that is absolutely correct. And so while you over here thinking about the backup quarterback, who most teams, nobody cares about who the backup quarterback is because they never play, especially here in Wisconsin. We've been blessed enough to not have to have backup quarterbacks play too often. But guess what? I've been doing some research.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday, Shefty joined Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin, Adam Schefter, the NFL insider for ESPN. He joined Craig live. And I said, Shefty, listen.
Oh, you said that?
I got one.
You said Shefty, listen.
I said Shefty. I got a question for you.
You said that.
I got the audio. Make sure you go back and listen to the interview because Shefty joined us yesterday. You can go.
You said Shefty, listen though.
I said, listen, Adam. I got a question, man, about this kicker situation. The Packers kicking situation. You got to tell me. There's got to be some kicker out there that the Packers could potentially find. He said, to be honest, you know how he talk. I haven't really had my eye on kicking situations, but I'll look. He texted, looked and hit up his GMs, and a name came out.
Oh.
Matthew Wright. Matthew Wright is the backup kicker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll say it right this time because I want Mr. Wright on our football team potentially.
I think he just got released like a half hour ago.
He might have. Matthew Wright is an option. Look into Matthew Wright.
Shefty's on his stuff.
And then there's another guy. I did this research myself. Braden Naveson. I don't even know how to say it.
I did this research myself, but I don't know how to say his name.
Hear me out. In this last weekend preseason win over the Seahawks, undrafted rookie Braden Navison attempted to make Tennessee's decision a bit more difficult. Not only did Navison crush a 59-yarder with room to spare in the fourth quarter, but he also kicked a game winner. The Titans have Nick Folk as their kicker already, who is basically locked in there. They say, can we sneak him to the practice squad? Hell no, you can't, because Braden going to be wearing green and gold come Wednesday. So it's the kicker situation. I'm tired of this.
If Carlson
10 of 12. He missed kicks in 20 to 12 games last year.
If Carlson's on the week 1 roster, will your trust in Goody be extinguished?
If Braden is available and Carlson is on the team, listen, I just heard about this Braden Navison guy recently, but it sounds dang good. He's better than
Kyle?
Yeah, I need to know the kicker situation. Adam Smart, he's around league sources and league circles. He is the league source. Adam, the kicker situation here in Green Bay is terrible. Please tell me there's somebody that's going to get cut that is going to be halfway decent, because what we have here in Green Bay ain't it. So
you choked.
Well, it was on fly. I was trying to say league circles.
You're a full-time host on Afternoon Drive.
League circles. I was going to say, he's in league circles.
Hang on,
He's not really
that was Kyle Wallace talking to Adam Schefter on Sunday Karma 10 to noon yesterday. I need to re-listen to that. That was horrible.
Find out who the Packers kicker is. Find out if they're going to get a backup quarterback. So, I don't think he has any sources. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, I need to know the kicker situation. Adam Smart, he's around league sources and league circles. He is the league source. Adam, the kicker situation here in Green Bay is terrible. Please tell me there's somebody that's going to get cut that is going to be halfway decent, because what we have here in Green Bay ain't it. So tell me, I told you I asked him.
No, the funny thing is,
sources, circle sources.
You set up this conversation saying that you said, "Hey, Shefty."
Listen, Shefty.
What did I say? I had the same.
You said, "Hey, Mr. Adam, you're really smart. You're in circles and sources."
Are you
Play it. I said, listen, this kicking situation ain't it.
All I can hear is sources, circles.
I wanted to say he was in league circles, but I'm like, he's not in league circles. He's not in the NFL.
You're thinking about me, Kyle.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I need to know the kicker situation. Adam Smart, he's around league sources and league circles. He is the league source. Adam, I was trying to be complimentary of him.
That is a train wreck.
I was trying to be nice of him.
That is a train wreck.
Regardless of how we got there, though. And I'm telling you, yeah.
Honestly, between me and you, just me and you for a second.
Were you nervous?
Were you nervous talking to Adam Schefter?
Well, to be completely honest, I'm sitting here minding my own damn business, trying to run a show. I got Jason Wilde on the line, and then all of a sudden, Craig during the break.
He does do this.
We may have something special for you. And so then I look up, and Craig's got this mic, and I'm thinking, well, how in the heck is Shefty going to be able to hear anything going on, because Craig has the headset on. And so I'm like, okay, this is what's happening. And Jason didn't know. It was a lot. And then Craig said, Kyle, you can, I know I'm like, okay, well, I'm sitting here just chilling, trying to just make sure everything's running right. And then I had to get thrown in there with a question about the kicker, which I had a burning question about the kicker situation.
Whoa,
because you don't have.
It's okay. You all right? Sounds like this was a stressful show for you.
Oh, my gosh. Who you say? And you want to know what's most stressful? By the time I got his name played up there finally, then he just got up and walked away. I said, oh, hell. Adam, were you staying? You going? You staying? You go? I didn't know what it was. But Adam,
he's in league circles. He had to get out of there.
But he did give us some insight, because this is what happened. So basically, Adam told, this is what I believe that happened.
Now he's Adam.
No, Adam told,
first name basis.
I think Adam told Craig during the break some names, because he started working the phones and he looked into it. He said he's going to look into it, and bada boom, bada bang, it happened. Adam told Craig some names, and Craig regurgitated those names.
Can you please say Adam Schefter?
Adam Schefter. And what it was, and Matthew Wright came out, and I'm telling y'all this right now. Mark my words. You can mark this too. Braden Navison, if he gets released or gets waived, he better be a Green Bay Packer come Wednesday. He better be a Green Bay Packer.
Who is that? Actually,
what do you know about Braden Navison?
I know Braden. He hit a 59-yard field goal with room to spare, and I know the Tennessee Titans are trying to sneak him through the waiver wire, because they already have a starting kicker in Nick Folk.
Not on Kyle's watch.
Not on my. I will personally try to call the Packers and be like, hey, can I talk to Goody?
First off, his name is Braden Narvison.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed the R. Narvison.
You said Davison.
No, I said
he said Navison.
I said Navison.
He said a lot to Adam Schefter that didn't make sense.
Narvison.
You better get to know the name.
Get to know the
Rookie
name.
kicker out of
Whichever
NC State.
whichever way you'll remember it. Kyle thinks he'll be a Green Bay Packer. Brad, tell us about Tsunami Express where we were on Friday.
Oh, yeah, I would love to, because I still drive my car from being washed at Tsunami Express with my ceramic membership. Man, it's still reflective. The tires, they look like brand new tires, but those tires are years old. It's unbelievable what Tsunami Express does for you. We were there. We were there last Friday at the new Fond du Lac Avenue and Capitol Drive location, and it was popping. It was absolutely popping. And you can be popping in your car if you get your free car wash at the Tsunami Express Midtown Milwaukee location. This offer ends September 1st, so you got to get it before then. But it's a free car wash at $22 value, all for free. I mean, there's so much to love about it. Unlimited wash memberships. That means I can get my car washed today. I can get it washed tomorrow. I can get it washed Wednesday. Any day that I want, I can get my car washed. State-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums. So much to love about Tsunami Express. You wash, chill, repeat. That is the experience at Tsunami Express Car Wash. Get yourself a free car wash at the Milwaukee Midtown location and learn more at tsunamiexpress.com.
Kyle Wallace pooped his pants talking to Adam Schefter. Alex Strofe got pooped on over the weekend. We'll tell you what happened next.
Yeah, I need to know the kicker situation. Adam's smart. He's around league sources and.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on KBN.
Wow. Just wow.
He sound good? We've been practicing.
I did it all last week. I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of my progress.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
2 left lanes on 41 southbound are blocked right now because of a crash. It's just past Burleigh, so watch out for that. There's another accident, though, on southbound 41 just past Mayfair Road. Luckily, that one is off on the right shoulder. Westbound 94 backing up from 25th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard, almost to Hawley Road. And then southbound on 43 backing up from Hampton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Two Men in a Junk Truck. Have unwanted clutter or junk? Go to twomeninajuncktruck.com for a free, no obligation estimate. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, excessive heat warning until 8 p.m. for pretty much most of southeast Wisconsin. It'll be warm and muggy with a slight chance for a thunderstorm later on, a low of 75. Tomorrow, excessive heat warning from 1 until 7 for most of southeast Wisconsin. Mostly sunny, hot and humid. Chance for thunderstorms later on, a high of 94 with a heat index of 100 to 110. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light.
I think I'm going to have to bring Romeo Dobbs into the Tausch stand category and start promoting and pushing him more.
Wilde and Tausch.
I feel like he is just so criminally. Like, he's an afterthought for too many Packer fans, and I think he's going to have a bust-out year.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
The Gridiron Developmental Football League National Championship is coming. On Saturday, August 31st, the Racine Raiders take on the Upstate Predators from New York. Don't miss out on your chance to enjoy real football for an affordable family rate. Buy your tickets now at GridironBowl2024.com. It's Gridiron Bowl 15. Kickoff from historic Horlick Field in Racine happens at 7 p.m. on Saturday, August 31st. That's GridironBowl2024.com for ticket and event info.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
A 30-7 win over the weekend gets the Packers done with their preseason schedule and effectively now done with the training camp. As for what's to come starting in Brazil in week 1, Here's Rashawn Gary on the defense.
I love lining up in the wide nine, crashing down on the tight end, and sometimes, man, if I get off the ball fast enough, I'm able to get in the backfield fast enough, make TFLs, and our number one thing is cause negative yardage plays, and this defense allows us to do that.
The countdown is now on until September 6th. The game kicks off against the Eagles at 7:15.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
Who's ready to save a bucket load at Fleet Farm? Just buy one of our signature 5-gallon buckets for $3.99 and get 15% off anything that fits inside it. Save on the best brands in fishing, hunting, and power tools. Save on pet supplies, snacks, and more. Any qualifying products that fit in the bucket are 15% off now through August 28th. Our bucket sale is just another great way to save on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
IKEA in Oak Creek is helping making your lives better by giving you great things to put in your home or maybe your college dorm, because school is like right here. And I know right after Labor Day, it's syllabus week, and there's still time for you to put stuff in. But if you're looking to make your campus living comfortable, functional, and fashionable, let IKEA at Oak Creek help you. They have innovative storage solutions that I've seen firsthand that help maximize your space. If I had it in my college, like first year, all that space and not like my junk everywhere, maybe it would have made a better impression on some people I was trying to impress as a freshman. But you can have great fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, and IKEA is helping making college living truly inspired by you. Qualified college students can get 15% off their IKEA purchases. Visit IKEA in Oak Creek or check out the Ready for College section at IKEA.com/US. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Strophe running the show, UKBN Nation.
Did you just throw a piece of paper at Strophe? And I mean, not
sure
even.
Did.
It wasn't even in the direction.
It
of
was
vicinity.
symbolic.
I mean, at least symbolically get it close.
That was actually.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even close.
It was symbolic. I wasn't actually trying to roll up the paper.
I know. I understand that, but at least try to get it in his vicinity. I mean,
Kyle, I'm running the damn show. The last thing. All right, everyone, pause. I'm going to make a perfect paper ball and then throw it right at his face.
Let's even be like Wade Miley.
I mean, it wouldn't. I mean, it's not like.
That's a change up on the outside corner.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
There you go.
That was like
I didn't have time to do that. I was just. It was like I said. It was symbolic of me throwing something towards him.
And you know what's crazy about this? Do you think that paper
need that read, by the way?
Oh, no way.
No,
Ben's not coming around the
Y'all
table.
not cleaning people.
The only reason he's gonna need this, he's gonna pick it up, is because he actually needs the read, not because he actually cares about throwing up. The other one on the floor, he could care less about that.
So Kyle, as we learned last segment, if you missed it, he had a chance to talk with Adam Schefter on Sunday Karma and absolutely botched his question, so he kind of pooped his pants. Strophe, you had a long weekend. What the hell happened to you? Because you said something about poop.
Yeah, so
it wasn't your poop.
I get back to Milwaukee yesterday. I'm walking into the apartment, and one of our teammates also that works in our home office side lives in the same building, so she's out there getting food from her DoorDash driver, also hungover. We're talking about our hangovers. I hear something hit the sidewalk. I felt something hit my head. I look down. There's a big pile of bird doo-doo right next to me. I touch the back of my head. Ugh. I got bird doo-doo on my hand now. There's bird doo-doo in my hair. So all I wanted to do was come home and go to sleep. Now I got to take a shower. I got to wash out my bird doo-doo. I'm not wearing hair gel today because it gave me a little PTSD when I opened my hair gel this morning. Yeah, not good.
Wow.
I've never been pooped on by a bird before. It was the first time for everything, I guess.
I've been pooped on once. They have said it's good luck. I've been pooped on once. Just standing in the driveway.
Why do they say that? Why is getting pooped on good luck? To make you feel better about getting pooped on?
Because it's so rare, I think. I don't necessarily believe it.
Is it rare?
I don't know.
3 of the 4.
All right, I got it.
So you have 2?
How rare is it to get pooped on by a bird? In fact, it's about as rare as a win in the lottery.
No.
Stop it.
Look, 3 of us have therefore, many people who get pooped on immediately go and buy a lottery ticket. It's been calculated in the USA that the chance of getting pooped on by a bird is 1 in 5 million.
No.
Oh,
no,
wow.
No. I wasn't.
What are we waiting for, guys?
Well, it's too late.
Years ago.
Stroph's is fresh, though.
When's the next Powerball?
Usually that's Tuesdays, I think.
Tomorrow.
Oh.
You got to do this.
Oh my God, I'm going to win the Powerball.
No, I mean, we're going to contribute to this.
How much is a Powerball ticket?
Tomorrow.
I don't care what it is.
$2?
Tomorrow will be our last.
No,
show.
I'm giving you.
No, he said tomorrow's our last show. That means he's sharing the money.
That's all.
Sharing the
Let's
money.
all contribute 50 cents.
No, we're gonna put. I'm giving you 20.
Oh,
I'll put 20 in.
Guys,
Kyle,
we're not putting one Powerball.
They said it's as rare as winning the lottery.
Wait a minute. It's more fun
if this happens.
So wait,
I can't believe I'm doing this
to me
if it happens.
'Cause I don't even know how it works. So like,
you got to hit 5 numbers and you got to hit 6 numbers.
6 numbers.
How much is one Powerball ticket?
I think it's $2.
$2.
So you're buying 10?
We're each
with a
buying
20?
10. Yeah.
But do you choose different numbers then?
Well, they
It's
just
random.
auto-generate.
You
You can pick them if you want.
But that's too time consuming.
We could do a random generator of the numbers within the
Let's
Powerball.
think about symbolic numbers.
Yeah,
you
well,
wore
what
1
if-
in college. You wore 3 and what? 3 and 8 in the NFL?
3 and 8.
So we need a 1 and a 38. What'd you wear in college or high school football? What's your
High
number?
school, I wore 12. College, I wore 32. Thank you very much, Strofe. I was on the sideline.
What's your number?
7. Or 7. I wore 17.
The problem
sports.
is with what we're trying to do symbolically here is
Doesn't
the
work.
numbers go all the way up to what? 70, I believe, something like that.
Well, why don't we auto-generate all but one ticket? And we create a symbolic ticket. Then if that way, like we choose that one, then all the rest of them, it's like, okay, whatever. We'll just
rather time consuming to fill out the you got to go find the form and then you got to fill it out.
Oh,
and
don't you
hand
just
it.
wait? So when you go there, you give your own numbers. You don't just tell them.
No, you
I've
hand
seen
them
in
a
movies
form.
15, 24, 37.
Yeah,
It's called the movies.
Yeah, I didn't know I had to fill it out.
15. 24
Interesting.
again?
All right. How many numbers? The 5 numbers that you select are between 1 and 69. Nice. And then you select one number between 1 and 26 for the red Powerball.
Oh, wow. Does that have to be in order?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
mean,
man.
But if you do hit any number,
brutal.
like if you hit one of the numbers, I think you get your money back.
Well, Brad, it just counts up. So, yeah, it has to be in order. But
So, like, if we did 1, then 38.
for
and then
example-
got
I can't believe we're explaining the Powerball to Brad.
Saturday's winners were 5, 15, 21, 24, 43, 17.
So if you had a ticket that said 15-5, and then all the rest of them, you wouldn't
Well,
win.
that's not how it works. I don't think.
Hey, hit the breaking news, baby.
Now this is some breaking news.
Per the real Adam Schefter that Kyle Wallace got to talk to on Sunday, this has nothing to do with the kicker conversation. If you had Sean Clifford or Michael Pratt as a backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, you were wrong. If you thought the backup quarterback was on the roster, you were also wrong. Per Adam Schefter, there's in a QB trade. The Titans are sending quarterback Malik Willis to the Packers in exchange for a 2025 7th-round pick per sources.
I wanted Braden, not Malik.
Bro,
you
literally said the backup quarterback position. Oh, you didn't say this?
I said the kicker. You talking about Brad? I said the kicker's the most
Brad
important.
also thinks the kicker's more important. He was just giving us reasons why the backup quarterback is important.
I like this trade. I like this trade.
No,
Think of a 7th-round draft pick, which is nothing. Goody recognized that there's a problem. And he said, you know what? I'm going to get my hands dirty. I'm going to go solve this problem. He didn't sit back. He was intentional with making sure this got done. Waiting before he, potentially going with other people.
Yeah.
He went and got his guy. Former 3rd-round draft pick, so potential's there.
And what I do like about this, I do like the fact that Malik Willis is a pretty good football player. He has starting experience in the NFL. He hasn't really been able to crack it. Maybe he's a career backup, has a rocket arm. So I think this is a great trade for the Green Bay Packers to be able to bring in Malik Willis to whether it's competing or that he's going to be the next guy as the backup. I think it's good. And Brad, you talked about something in practice, right? Having a guy that can be good in practice.
Yep.
That's what I like. Malik Willis
test
could be
the guy.
good. Be good in practice, so that's there. Now go and get the other guy. Go get the kicker.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think anything is better, to be honest, right? And to get somebody who fits what the Packers are trying to do from an organizational standpoint is, again, whether you believe this or not, Brad gave some reasons as to why earlier in the day that backup quarterbacks can play a vital role to a team. One of them being a veteran to help sort of lead the scout team, also lead the quarterbacks in terms of things that they've picked up in knowledge. But I love that he is 25. He is probably looking for a new opportunity to showcase his skills. What we do know is Matt LaFleur and Tom Clements, right, is the quarterback coach. Tom Clements specializes in what? Footwork, development.
Yeah.
So in terms of the way the Packers have continued to grow this team, they've done it by growing young. So it fits the way that Goody has tried to put together the organization and roster. Would I have probably preferred a veteran? I'd probably say yes, but I'm also not going to sit here and complain when Michael freaking Pratt and Sean Clifford are better at throwing to the other team than their own.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would have preferred a veteran, but I understand. Goody likes to go young. We know that. And you're totally right. Between Matt LaFleur and Tom Clements, we know that Malik Willis has potential. We know that he put Liberty on his back. And he was neck and neck with who else but Bo Nix at Auburn on who to get that starting job. Bo Nix won it out, which made him transfer. But I like this for the Packers. I just like that Goody is sending a message that we have a standard for backup quarterback, for kicker, whatever else. He could, in the past, maybe we have criticized Goody for maybe not being proactive, not being that guy. He's been nothing but proactive the last 12 months.
And I think that's why this is significant. Last year, the Packers traded guys away, right? That's what it was about. We traded guys away. We let guys walk. This year, it is about not learning. It's about the fact that we have a chance to win a championship. This is a significant move because it sends the signal that the Green Bay Packers are here to compete for championships. And as Brad just said, if you are not playing up to a certain standard that can help this team get to where they want to get to, you are not going to be on this football team. So I cannot wait to see other moves that are possibly made in order to reinforce this roster and ensure that we are in a position to compete for a title.
800-990-3776. I actually really like this from Justin in the 262. I also love having an athlete as a backup. A dude who can run gives you a solid chance to steal a game or two if Love misses due to a minor injury. You know exactly who came to my mind?
The kid from Baltimore?
Tommy DeVito ran right through the Green Bay Packers. And is he talented? No. Was he fast and ran through the zone, the soft zone the Green Bay Packers played? Yes.
It's hard to game plan against. It's hard to game plan against a short-term running quarterback.
If Malik Willis is Tommy DeVito, then this was a stupid trade.
Well,
I expect more.
TC chimes in because he likes to hold general managers. TC, the producer of the Thanalysis show, and this is another I think added twist to this is 2 more wasted draft picks from Goody.
In Pratt and Clifford?
I mean,
yeah. And you're giving around now a seventh round pick.
Mm-hmm. Make it 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 draft picks to get Malik Willis.
I mean, at the end of the day, if this turns out that the Green Bay Packers have somebody that can make them better again in practice and have them feel confident about who's behind Jordan Love, if anything were to happen, then this is a good move. So I'm actually happy about it, and I applaud Goody for making something happen. Don't sit back and wait.
The Potawatomi Sportsbooks has updated odds for the Green Bay Packers to win the Super Bowl. It hasn't changed at all. It didn't move based off Malik Willis being the guy for the Green Bay Packers to back up Jordan Love. They traded for Malik Willis 2025 7th-round pick. But again, Kyle, you said the word urgency, and I like the urgency that they moved because this is a window in which they knew that if something happened for 2 to 4 games, this team has their goals set higher than just trying to sneak into the playoffs. They want to be a true contender, and having a true backup to pick you up if something happens is important. Goody saw that.
Like I said, put on notice.
Yes, he's been on notice. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But actually, you see right now the Potawatomi Sportsbook branded pullover I got on right now. Shout out to them, and shout out to their kiosk that I placed a same game bet on, or just Ben's best bet. I got the Braves at let's see here, minus 104 against the Twins. You got Max Fried against Bailey Obner. That is Ben's best bet today. 20-minute reserve parking near the Skywalk if you want to place any bets. And they have the 2,000 square foot video wall. And seeing it in person again reminded me it's the movie theater of sports. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Check it out. It's amazing. And we will continue on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman reacting with you because this is significant, not from a season-changing standpoint, but a philosophy standpoint, and how Goody seems to be looking at this season from an overall standpoint. A trade has been made. The Packers have their backup quarterback. We discuss with you, KBN Nation, at 800-990-3776 next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
You agree with me?
I mean, Lola Bunny on your algorithm
I'm just
shaking her butt?
It's people on my Facebook sharing stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Lola the Bunny was kind of strapped.
Okay, here's as far as I'm... All I'll be able to say is I get why Bugs was so love drunk over Lola. I get it. That's
you.
as far as I can go to you.
Look at this. Look at this. Google Lola the Bunny.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
The accident on southbound 41 that was causing all the issues right around Burleigh has been cleared up. We had some lanes closed. Now everything's reopened. Slowly but surely, everything's working itself out. Still seeing big delays from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Burleigh. Eastbound 94 slowing down from Meadowbrook Road all the way to Highway 16. And then you are back on the brakes, basically from Hawley Road all the way through to about 35th Street. Westbound slow out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast for tonight. Excessive heat warnings all the way until 8 p.m. for most of southeast Wisconsin. Tonight, warm and muggy. A slight chance for thunderstorms later on, a low of 75. Tomorrow, excessive heat warning from 1 to 7 for most of southeast Wisconsin. Mostly sunny, hot and humid. Chance for thunderstorms later on, a high of 94 with a heat index of 100 to 110. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziger on 94.5 ESPN.
Everybody knows if it's summer season, it's festival season. And Potawatomi has the winningest one, WinFest. You could make it an awesome August with a share of $500,000. Play with your rewards card for entries. Hourly drawings every Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. $25,000 in cash and prizes each drawing. It's the $500,000 WinFest. Get in on the fun. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. More info at pacebig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Call 414-410-2000 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And remember, football season is here and cooler temps are on the way, so do not wait. For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free plus 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Take me out to the ball game, roll out the barrel, and get up, get out of here, gone. There's nothing like Milwaukee baseball. The Brew Crew is back, and we're here to help you turn your tailgate or game viewing experience into a grand slam. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960 we have provided the best selection and the lowest prices. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, wine, and mixers. Over 15,000 actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. Combine our incredible selection and everyday low prices with our 2 convenient locations, and you've got your one-stop shop for game day. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, only 10 minutes from AmFam Field, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
Discount liquor.
Looking for that ultimate game day hangout during football season? Welcome to Magoo's on the Mound. Now open at 11 a.m. Tuesday through Sunday. With 13 TVs, you won't miss a moment of the action. Enjoy our free 100-square pool with amazing prizes and a complimentary halftime buffet. Plus, we've got great drink specials to keep you cheering. And don't forget, we offer shuttles to and from all Milwaukee baseball games. Magoo's on the Mound, where green and gold fans gather and where every game day is a win.
You've paid too much for that nice ride. Why put it through a gas station car wash when you can treat it to Tsunami Express instead? At Tsunami Express Car Wash, you can expect nothing but the best with unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, and powerful free vacuums. Tsunami Express is now open in Midtown Milwaukee at the intersection of Fond du Lac Avenue and Capitol Drive. Get a free car wash only at the Tsunami Express Midtown Milwaukee location August 21st through September 1st. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at TsunamiExpress.com.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
In my mind when she's not right there beside me, I go crazy.
Per Adam Schefter of ESPN, the Packers have landed their backup quarterback for Jordan love. Malik Willis has been traded from the Tennessee Titans to the Green Bay Packers for a 2025 7th-round pick. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman here with you. Alex Strofer on the show, 800-990-3776. I think this is a great sign of urgency from Goody, right? I think it's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, actually, on our morning show on 94.5 ESPN, put out a poll. Are the starting kicker and backup quarterback on the roster right now? One of those two questions has now been answered. They traded for Malik Willis, a project, but a guy that is someone where when I say, hey, Malik Willis is the backup quarterback for Jordan Love, it sounds a hell of a lot better than Sean Clifford and Michael Pratt.
Yeah, and he started a couple games, and he hasn't had outsized success as a backup, but he was productive in the preseason. And I think when you look at this, you say, you know what? If we're not going to have a guy who is a top-tier backup, like a top 5, maybe even top 10 backup, you might as well get a guy with some potential. I'm not sure that Clifford and Pratt had the true potential that someone like Willis has. I think they look at him and say, you know what? He's dangerous, he's athletic, he's got a good arm, and we can shape him. He might not be ready today, but he can do the things we need him to do. And if we're going to have guys that are struggling right now, you might as well have a big high ceiling on that too.
Hey, now we got practice squad battle for the third quarterback.
Hey,
yeah, we most certainly do, but I think it's the biggest thing is who can you depend on to step up? And I think that's what they saw in Malik Willis, is that's somebody that can step up, they can depend on, and help this Packers team if he is ever needed. The potential is definitely there. Again, he may never be an NFL starter, but he could end up being a really good backup. And that's one thing the Green Bay Packers haven't had in a while. They haven't had a guy who's a backup quarterback who can go somewhere else and be like, yeah, he's a really solid backup quarterback. We just haven't had that guy recently. And so I think that's good for the Green Bay Packers overall. And it's good for where we're trying to go.
Now, the only thing I do want to ask you, Kyle, from a Goody standpoint, right? Like, I praise the urgency of understanding where this team is, but it wasn't that long ago that a 5th-round pick was used on Sean Clifford, and obviously Michael Pratt was literally
7th round, I think?
just drafted. So you have 2 draft picks within. Was Sean Clifford 2 years ago?
This would have been his second year. Last year was his rookie season.
Again, I like taking stabs at quarterback, right? Even if it's not like in the 2nd or 3rd, 4th round when you have somebody you believe in. But when you go Sean Clifford and Michael Pratt and then also trade a 7th round pick, does that concern you at all? Or are you willing to just be like, it's okay, he's hit on enough for me recently that I'll give him a pass on the missing of the draft picks and the quarterback, and we have our guy from a backup standpoint?
In what world does a GM, or in what world of anything that you do, when you have maybe 7 options or 10 options, do you hit on all 7 or 10 options, right? That's just irrational to believe that somebody's supposed to hit on every single thing that they do. And so especially when it comes to football, where you have no idea how good these guys are going to be or how bad they're going to be. And especially when you're talking about a 5th round and 7th round draft pick, that's a crapshoot. Mr. Irrelevant, we just talked about it. Mr. Irrelevant is not only Alex Strofe, it's also Brock Broke Boy Purdy, who wants to bring food into the movie theater. You don't know exactly what you're going to get from these guys. The most important thing is the fact that you can find when you make a mistake and not sit there and try to force it to work. You say, you know what? Let's bring somebody else in. So that's why we go to Anders Carlson. Hopefully we realize if it does not work out, that is okay. Find somebody that can help contribute to this football team and bring a winning culture and somebody you can depend on as the kicker.
Bo from Fort Atkinson, 800-990-3776. How do we know he's going to be the backup? He might not even be better than Clifford or the rookie. Bo, Strofe said it.
Yeah, if you're
saying it.
If you're going to trade for him, that's a pretty clear indication that he's going to be the backup. And, when it comes to the draft picks, right? If you're going to make a mistake, if you're going to take a gamble, you want it to be as low risk as possible, right? A 6th round draft pick, a 7th round draft pick, that's pretty low risk, right? I mean, those are flyers. It's not like it's a 3rd round draft pick. I mean, Malik Willis was a former 3rd round draft pick, so I'm okay.
Who fell in the draft?
Who fell in the draft?
So he had 1st round potential.
I'm okay with taking swings.
Quite the spin there. Had 1st round potential, fell, didn't work out.
He wears green and gold now, and now he's that's the 1st round talent.
Yeah, 1st round talent. That's great.
But no, I mean, look, a 5th-round draft pick, a 7th-round draft pick. That's kind of currency to like take some swings, take some gambles, right? Whether it be you're actually drafting or just for trade situations like this with Malik Willis. So I'm okay with it. You're right. He's not going to hit every one of them. And you just don't know how these guys are going to turn out. Clifford, Pratt, they might be diamonds in the roughs, but they also might be guys that just don't turn out.
We're perfectly fine with that happening, though. Like, I'm perfectly fine with that. The biggest thing that we want is that we hope that Goody solved the problem with the backup quarterback. You knew after the game with that press conference, and Matt LaFleur did not decide that he was going to say, oh, yeah, we saw enough from Sean Clifford or Michael Pratt to make those two guys the decision, or one of those two guys to be the backup quarterback. He said, we're going to continue to look. We're going to look. We're going to find out.
Well, they traded a 7th-round pick for Malik Willis. He is now what seems to be the backup quarterback for Jordan Love. Before we get to Brian Balaga, the doctor of football, we have another giveaway for our great fans, and Kyle's going to tell you all about it.
Vroom, vroom, vroom. I love me some IndyCar, and it returns to Milwaukee Mile on Labor Day weekend. The Hy-Vee Milwaukee Miles 250 weekend happens at State Fair Park here in Milwaukee at the Milwaukee Mile, August 30th through September 1st. Itch your need for speed by being caller number 5 right now to the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line, 800-990-3776. That's 800-990-3776. Be caller number 5. The weekend will feature NTT Indy Car Series races on both Saturday and Sunday. Call now to win. Be caller number 5 at 800-990-3776 or get tickets at wistatefair.com.
800-990-3776. Win your prize. And then join us next with Brian Balaga, the doctor of football, breaking down all things Packers and the latest trade for Malik Willis. That's next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
That is completely unacceptable. It is unacceptable for a team to
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Is acceptable? Unacceptable?
Unacceptable.
Unaccessible. Wait.
What?
Wait. My mind is
unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. What did I say?
Unacceptable.
My mouth and brain
Unacceptable.
are like not working
Unacceptable.
right
What did I say?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel. Join myself and Stephen Watson every Tuesday night at 6 here on 94.5 ESPN for On the Tee, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips. Each and every Tuesday, Stephen and I are going to give you the latest in Wisconsin golf, sprinkle in some of the latest in our own golf games, plus talk about professional golf. Get your golf fix each and every Tuesday night at 6 with On the Tee, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips, right here on 94.5 ESPN, or listen back to the show with Wisconsin On Demand. Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at lowtusa.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here for Carbless, my go-to drink this summer. Handcrafted right here in Wisconsin, Carbless is a ready-to-drink vodka and tequila cocktail. Perfect for hanging out on the patio by the grill, chilling on the lake, or tailgating at the Brewers game. Plus, it's got 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. All summer, make sure you're following Carbless on Instagram at Drink Carbless for your chance to win a Summer Bliss prize package. Find Carbless online and at retailers near you. Carbless. Bliss is more.
Monica, Sarah, have you heard the good news?
What is it?
Joe Gerke says our new store in Bristol, Wisconsin, otherwise known as Kenosha, will be open this autumn.
Kessler's Diamonds is opening a new store.
Indeed we are. It's located off I-94 and Highway 50.
We should reach out and tell people in the area that we're hiring.
Monica, that microphone is on. Tell them what we're looking for.
Do you love people? Do you smile a lot? Are you the person that all your friends come to when they need help or advice?
Kessler's Diamonds is one of the top engagement ring stores in America.
And we're also the largest employee-owned jewelry company in the world.
You're going to love working for Kessler's Diamonds.
You're going to love shopping at Kessler's Diamonds.
Diamond engagement rings.
Diamond tennis bracelets.
Diamond stud earrings.
Diamond anniversary bands.
And big anniversary diamonds.
We do diamonds magnificently because diamonds are all we do.
To apply for a job or find out more about us, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaki County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
Looking for a better used car interest rate? At Ewald, we make it easy to save thousands during the used car rate reduction event. Get rates as low as 4.9% on Ewald Automotive Group's best used cars. 4.9% on over 600 vehicles at 10 locations. Increase your purchase power with a better used car from the name Milwaukee has trusted for 60 years. Don't wait. Get a better rate. Available to very well qualified customers. Up to $20,000 financed for up to 48 months. See dealer for details. Offer ends August 31st.
IndyCar returns to the Milwaukee Mile at Wisconsin State Fair Park this Labor Day weekend, August 30th through September 1st. The Hy-Vee Milwaukee Mile 250s weekend features NTT IndyCar Series races on both Saturday and Sunday. Don't miss the fun in the free fan zone all weekend long, including live entertainment at the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater with headliners including Ian Munsick and Quiet Riot. Get your tickets now at wistatefair.com and experience Hy-Vee Milwaukee Mile 250s weekend, August 30th through September 1st.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of.
Always a great time to join the Princeton Club with free childcare with your membership. They're open 24/7. I've done personal training. They have everything. Indoor, outdoor swimming pools, basketball courts, indoor, outdoor tennis courts. They have it all. Join the Princeton Club for a better tomorrow. Just have that courage to go get a tour. You'll fall in love, and next thing you know, you're going to be a member. Joining us now on Kyle Brust Nortman is the doctor of football before the Homer Hour, Brian Balaga. Brian, you don't live under a rock. I'm sure you saw the news. The Packers have traded a 7th-round pick for Malik Willis. Your instant reaction?
Yeah, guys, good evening. Listen, I think we all saw the struggles of the backup QBs, not only through camp, but the preseason games. And again, like I said it last week, it's hard to truly judge a backup quarterback in a preseason game when starters aren't around him, which would be when he would get into a game in the regular season and real live action. If Jordan Love's shoelace came undone and he needed to go in, he'd be around the starters. And you don't really get to see that in preseason. So it is hard to judge and make a for sure claim on a backup QB in preseason, but these teams have to make a decision, and Goody did, and they went out and got a guy that has played. He was drafted, I think, in the 3rd or 4th round. Mm-hmm. He's shown that he can do some good things. He's a guy that, I remember he started for the Titans a little bit, I believe, if I remember correctly, watching him play. He likes to move around. He creates things, so he's a little bit of a different style than what Jordan Love is. Whether or not LaFleur can kind of mold that talent and get him to fit into kind of what Green Bay does quarterback-wise. Obviously, you can't change a guy 100%. You got to let him be himself. But to try to kind of fit what the quarterback position does in this offense will be fun to see if LaFleur can do it. But listen, it's low risk. It's a 7th rounder pick they're giving up. I think it's a good move. And it makes, I think, probably the front office, obviously, and the coaching staff feel a little bit more secure about their backup position.
Brian, when it comes to the philosophy of backup quarterbacks, it feels like there's two different ones to me, whether it be a guy like Malik Willis, who's young, raw potential, or a guy who was another former Tennessee Titan like Ryan Tannehill, a guy that's been well-traveled around the league, almost like another coach out there, and who has a long time of starting history. If you were running a team, if you were Goody, which backup quarterback philosophy do you prefer? This one where the Packers go with youth and potential and ceiling, or a guy that's like a veteran that's been there, done that?
If it's me, I'm going with a guy like Tannehill. He's played a lot of football, right? And I understand it kind of tailed off at the end, hence why he doesn't have a gig right now. But he was very productive under the LaFleur system. He did a lot of good things. He was in Tennessee when LaFleur was the OC, very familiar with a scheme like this. And he's a guy that you can put in there, and he ain't going to lose you a game. And to me, that's the key when you look at backup quarterback play is if something were to happen and he needs to go in at halftime or in the third quarter, will he lose us the game? Is he a guy that we can rely on to keep the offense on the field, move the ball, be a threat throwing it enough that defenses just can't pack the box and stop the run? And listen, it's not a knock on Willis at all. I mean, again, I haven't watched him play. I've seen Tannehill play in Miami and Tennessee. I've seen him play a lot. So I understand the type of QB he is, but just from a veteran standpoint, a guy that prepares, he understands, especially someone that knows the system really well already. That would be my preference, but I'm not a general manager. So, and Goody's done a pretty good job. So I'll go with Goody on it and, trust what he's doing. But if it were me making the call, that would be it. But obviously there's finances involved in that decision as well, bringing in a veteran like him.
Now, Brian, I agree that Goody is a pretty good general manager. I think he's one of the top general managers in the NFL based off what he's been able to do and not rebuild but reload the Green Bay Packers in less than one season. But would Goody regret having Anders Carlson on this roster come September 6th?
Oof, there's a tough question. It's hard to say with kickers. It really is. Like I don't think so. I think the pressure that, I mean, is it official that they've released the other kicker? I don't even know. I haven't been checking.
I don't believe so yet.
Okay, so I mean, if they do decide to go that route, I'm optimistic that what happened to Carlson at the end of last season and the competition and kind of that little bit of fear that the front office has put into him over the offseason and training camp is enough to get him dialed in and ready to go for the season. So I'm going to say no. I think if he is the guy that Goody goes with, I think he's going to deliver the goods. Now, obviously, I think his leash is going to be a little bit shorter this year. I really do, and I get there's not kickers just floating around that you can count on during the season that you can just bring in off the street and rely on week in and week out. I get it. It's a very niche position, but I don't think he's going to have the same leeway he had last year. But I do think that Carlson has probably learned a lot from this offseason and this training camp that you gotta produce the goods when it counts, or there's going to be a quick exit for you.
Talking with Brian Balaga here on Kyle Brust and Nortman before he joins the Homer Hour from 5 to 6. Brian, we've talked a lot about the backup quarterback spot and obviously the kicker. And offensive line, we've talked about where the right guard's going to end up. Despite all of those, I don't want to say minor conversations, how would you put your mindset in terms of how this training camp went? Did you get everything you wanted to get out of training camp heading into week 1, which is already coming next Friday?
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Like the game's next week. I think it's absolutely wild, and it's Friday. It's a short week, really short week. But I think what they got accomplished this last week with Baltimore coming into town and the joint practice and then the way the game played out, I get it. It was the last preseason game, but it's direct correlation with how the team practices to how they go out and play. And we saw the night and day difference, how the team responded from the Denver week to this week. And that's a really good sign, right? That's a sign that the head coach is delivering a message to the team. The team is responding to that message. And that's something that this team did last year. We saw it late last year when everything was going against them and somehow they pulled out of it and made a nice run. And I'm not saying that they've had to get out of a hole in camp, but there were signs that the offense was up and down, and all of a sudden, Baltimore week comes around, really positive signs from that practice. Preseason game comes, they dominate that, and here we go. So I think all signs are pointing up, and they got what they needed out of this camp.
Lastly, quickly here, somebody said that at my house that Talladega Nights was a top 5 comedy of all time. Is it even in the top 20?
I think it's in the top 20, but not top 5.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian Balaga, the doctor of football, will be joining our guy Homer from 5 to 6. No need to go anywhere. That's going to be in 2 minutes, folks. More reaction to Malik Willis being traded to the Packers for a 7th-round pick. That's all next in 2 minutes on the Homer.